Okay. Hi. Hello. My brain just derped for a minute. Yeah, hey everyone, scholars alike. Hello, welcome in. Thanks so much for joining us today. All of us, me, you, the people, the internet, the individuals that exist here at this very location, at this intersection of meridians that exist on a plane. Okay, hi. I hope everyone's doing well. I see there's King, there's Nimby. For those who are just, waltzing in, welcome in. I do, some good news really quick. I think I fixed the alerts. Fingers crossed that the alerts are good. So it wasn't as hard as I thought. It just needed a little kind of refresher. I just had to re-log in or something. So that, hopefully, if there's any subscribers or followers that happen across the channel while I'm live moving forward, it'll finally be shown. Yes. So hello live type, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. It's good to see some familiar names, some familiar folks out there in the internet. But we all know that we're all behind a screen. So yes, how the technology has connected us all. So yeah, we'll do the thing that we always do. I did create some new questions for today, this week, and anyone and everyone is welcome to answer them in their own time, in their own space. If you're worried that I might not read your answers, because chat moves and my brain sometimes just kind of skips over things, and it's not like everyone's sending super chats at me, so we're good, right? So if I happen to miss your chat, but you still want to share, maybe your experiences, feel free to answer some of the questions that I've listed here, either on the live stream YouTube comment section, or I guess on any of my socials. I am trying to, even though I whine and complain about social media, because I'd be like that. I do still do my best to keep up with social media. So if you did want to, share, and another thing with social media is that there is usually a character limit, how many letters you can you can express yourself, right? So that's always kind of a bummer. But yeah, if you wanted to, and if YouTube chat doesn't, gobble up and send everyone's messages to the void, then we'll be able to kind of share and read each other's experiences and can kind of, reflect and yeah, share in our experiences in one way or another. So yeah, these are gonna be our check-in questions. Again, it seems like we have a pretty cozy number of folks, so I'm not too concerned. But yeah, how's everyone's week been? If you feel like sharing, if not, I am just gonna do a little bit of stretching. We'll get to the check-in questions when a few folks kind of roll in, but I did want to share some other really interesting news. I know I'm gonna just preface that this is holistic health. Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, the weather is crazy. We've talked about the weather before, and I was gonna actually talk about how my allergies are crazy. Yeah, no, it's the weather is so weird. The weather has been very strange lately, and I know just before the snowstorm that some people, in certain parts of the world, in North America, particularly northern, East Coast-ish area of the United States, there was that giant that snowstorm, the freeze, that was so weird and caused a lot of problems. And it was so funny because like 2 weeks leading up to that, during my streams, I was like, hey, is it just me or is it cold? I feel it in my bones. The weather's cold here, and then boom, snowstorm, blizzard, whatever, what, no one's expecting that, what? And then now, my allergies. Do you guys have allergies, or are you guys just blessed with amazing genetics? Because I don't usually have so it's like this. It's like all or nothing for me. It's like there's no in between. It's either I get like mild allergies, or I get like really bad allergies. So it's like those two, and then or just none. Like while other people are like sniffling and you know, interacting with the pollen and the spring. It is spring. Spring is approaching. I believe it's like the spring equinox is this weekend. Actually, it's usually March 20th, 21st. Is like spring is here. But yeah, like you've had bad allergies. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. So bloody. Like I was. TMI, but like yeah, bloody nose because it's like so dry, and then like oh my gosh, really crazy. Really wild. And so yeah, I rarely need to even take allergy medication, but it's pretty bad. It helped. I usually take it it's depending how bad it is. Sometimes I can't even sleep because of how bad the the congestion is. It's terrible. But yeah, if it's relatable, cool. If not, welcome to the human experience, I guess. What else was there? Oh, so I wanted to bring up before, you know, really quick, some really awesome things. And you guys know I'm kind of into that like holistic healing, holistic health. I'm totally like, okay, if you don't believe in it, if you're like, oh, that stuff doesn't work, or I've tried, it doesn't work, or does nothing to me, or oh, it's just, you know, just relaxing, that's it. But I did experience a really nice sound healing, and it was really good. So I've had a sound healing. Actually, this is maybe like my so the very first time I ever experienced the sound healing was with like a friend. She was practicing, so she was like going through all this like training and trying to understand like her style, and you know she was willing to, you know, offer sound healing for me, and it was really good, really interesting actually. But so I had shared that story with you guys, and I said, you know, it really did help me kind of process some of my emotions in my body, you know, pinpointing like where things felt kind of stuck, and there was a lot of like release, like just out of nowhere. I was like breathing, and like, you know, some tears were coming out because I was like, again, tears are not always bad. It's like a release. It's like a physical manifestation of some kind of release. And so yeah, it did feel very cathartic that time. I went to some free resources in my neighborhood, in my place, and where I exist, somewhere beyond the internet and beyond the screen. And maybe this story can inspire you guys. Maybe, you know, if you're really skeptic, or, you know, I'm like that too. I get it. Like, I don't know. I don't think if you had told me like, hey, let's go to sound healing, if you told me that like, I don't know, like 10 years ago, I'd be like, all right, let me just give it a try, but like whatever, you know, I get it. But yeah, no, the two individuals who were hosting the event were really nice, really good people. And it was a lot of like mixed traditions. How to say, like they took bits. So I asked them after this event, and so if this encourages other people to take advantage, seek some free resources in their neighborhood, whether it's like library, local community centers, or I don't know. You know, obviously paying a service is risky, because you know if you're gonna vibe with the person you're working with, and that's always the problem, right? And but yeah, no, so this was a free event, and I was really lucky. I was able to reserve a spot, because it is by, like, it's kind of like first come first serve, like whoever reserves it, they get the spot. So I was really lucky. I was able to reserve a slot, a position, like a place, because they only had like a limited number of people. It was like maybe 20 something, and then there was still room. So I guess some people didn't go, or they felt they just didn't make it. So yeah, but it was really, really nice. They provided a lot of the equipment. So of course they encourage you to bring your own yoga mat. So that's always nice to have if you ever, you know, want to have yoga classes in the future, or anything that would require having a mat as like a cushion, so you're not just, you know, on some kind of like dirty gym floor or whatever. I'm sure they clean the gym floor, but maybe not as frequently enough to keep it sanitary. But so having a yoga mat is kind of a nice little cushion. So I brought my own yoga mat, but they provided some blankets as like extra cushion, a bolster, which was like this like a little pillow, like a really long pillow, and they had like I think they had like 18 of those bolsters, pillows, and blankets. Yeah, lots of blankets. And they also provided sound bowls, and I took photos. I thought the sound bowls were so pretty. There was like they were all like a gold color. I don't know the material, but they were all really nice and really different sizes, just really diverse. So there was like big ones, small ones. There was ones with like designs on them. And oh my gosh, I took a photo of mine because there were a few that had some designs on them, and one looked like Tara from like Hindu, was it like the deities from the Hindu belief system? I don't know how you wanna I don't know how I want to say that, but I don't know if it was really Tara. There was a male instructor and a female instructor, and he said, oh, I think one of them is Guanyin. I was like, oh, and then I compared the two and they looked really similar. Their mudras were different, like the hand signs were different, but it was very similar. So I was like, oh, so that was really cool. Later I did ask like, oh, what's like their inspiration? And then they said, oh, they take from like different groups and ideologies and structures, so they're not any one thing. When I mentioned, I really liked it because it almost felt very secular, like not super like religious or like one overarching thing. And they're like, yeah, that's kind of what we were going for. So like the guy was saying, oh, he works with like shamanism, and I'm not really interested in like shamanism, but I have heard some good things and bad things about it. So, and then he also works in like martial arts, Muay Thai, and what is it, jiu-jitsu, and all these things. I'm like, wow. So he has his little like studio where he offers these classes and yoga, and the woman also does yoga and breath work and sound healing. And I thought that was really awesome. It was such a gem. It was such a gem to find that resource like free to the public. And if that inspires you guys, cool. If not, it's like, cool story, Poe. But that's, and so kind of leading into today's question, which is like health goals, right? And so I guess I want to invite you guys to reflect, if you so wish, now or later or in your own time. Maybe right now you're like, I can't think, I don't know what my goals are. But it wouldn't hurt to consider like, hey, like taking a pause for a minute, and maybe this is if anyone journals or has a journal entry, that they want to make but don't know what to write. These are some topics to possibly, slowly reflect on, take some time, give yourself 15 minutes to really think, or maybe, right away, oh, actually, you know what? There's been something that I've been meaning to want to do. So with that little story, I'll go ahead and start the timer for a 5-minute stretch. Again, invitation to stretch is now. Other invitations are not set, but the invitation to stretch has been set for you guys. If you want to stretch, you're more than welcome to. And this was something we did in the class the drop-in class. It's really just like a one-time little event, the sound healing. So what we did for maybe 10 minutes, it was really nice. We stretched in our own time. The woman, she guided us, and we when you look around, other people were just doing their own thing. She offered suggestions, kind of like how I do during my streams. I say like, hey, you guys, if you want to stretch, if you want to roll your shoulders, if you've been sitting all day, if you want to just kind of check in with your spine, anywhere in your body that needs a little bit extra attention and care, feel free to, find some ways to address that, whether it's, doing a yoga pose for your lower back, like child's pose, warrior 1, warrior 2, which I recently learned about as well. There's just so many different stretches and ways to gently move your body. I think that gentle movement was really helpful for kind of getting us into a state of relaxation so that we could get the most out of the sound healing. So the topic, kind of the overarching theme of the sound healing that I experienced was about release and letting go. And letting go of negativity, whether it's thoughts, and she said things like, oh, if you've had a lot of thoughts running in your mind, right, maybe this past week or the past few days or the last few hours, maybe there's something that's been really bothering you, right? And let's take this time to release that as much as we can through our body, through intentional breathing, you know, because we all experience something like that to some degree. Maybe some is like, oh, it's not that bad, it's just kind of on my mind. Other times it's like, oh my god, I'm losing sleep, this is crazy, right? Like I can't, it's really bothering me, things like that. So and this ties into maybe question number 3 and 4, because I feel like sound healing taps into like multiple layers of wellness. One, of course, being physical health, as well as mental, and a little bit of spiritual if you want to go that direction. For sure, yeah. Thank you, Lei. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for tuning in and dropping by. Yeah, feel free to lurk and listen if you would like. I'm just kind of going over some good things. We talked about the weather, global warming if you believe in it, climate change if you believe in it. Yeah, it's kind of strange for me to think. Well, how about let me just like reframe what I want to say and use I statements, right? So for me, I would think, maybe it's based off like science and education, but if you let's just use a very, very easy example or demonstration. If you boil something in your kitchen, right, and there's steam, there's like visible steam, and if you have anything like something that measures the humidity in your room, in your space, and you know, maybe it's like on the table far away, but it's still picking up like the moisture in the room. And so like, you know, the kitchen's not too far off. And so like if I'm boiling something like water and the steam is like filling up the space slowly but surely, you know, those water molecules are floating about in the room, you know, creating humidity in the space. So I think about like human consumption and things like that as kind of like that. So we're, in a sense, through consumption and mass producing things and just in general, right, like producing a lot of this I don't know, like smoke, chemicals, heat, right, the like byproducts of these chemical reactions into the atmosphere, and that the atmosphere being like the room, the kitchen, or whatever, right? And then like the large scale production of consumerism or consumption contributing to, you know, what's being put out there. So it's really interesting to me, like how maybe there's not like a very common understanding. It feels like there's not a common understanding, and yet there is and isn't. It's like it depends on the individual you talk to. Some people say yes, global warming is a thing. Scientists are saying these are the metrics. This is what we're observing in our environment, in the air, in different pockets of the world, like the Antarctica, the snow caps are melting or something, right? Or snow is like less, and the snow in the area is like receding, meaning it's like there's less of it because it's hotter, or something's causing the snow to melt, which is usually heat, right? So for someone to say, oh, that's not real, it's kind of to me it's like a slap in the face. But it's like, especially it's like when you have evidence, and then it's like clear evidence is not tampered, it's just honest, like, you know, like we took a thermometer, we put the thermometer in a boiling pot of water and measured how hot it was, and we read the number, and that we're showing it to you, and then someone's saying no, it's freezing, that's not true, that's not really boiling. It's really frustrating, you know. It's very difficult, and it can cause a lot of like negative feelings, and then like some people say, oh well, then the solution to that is just don't care, right? And I'm like, oh well, I don't think that is the solution. It's just maybe we don't have to necessarily incorporate the opinions of people who are not invested or don't care, but you know, maybe the people who do care can do something about it, right? If that's possible. So yeah. Oof. But health goals, one of the dimensions of health actually, and I'm actually still stretching, oddly enough. Oh hey, welcome in. So the dimensions of health, actually, I linked them into the description of today's like stream thing. I usually don't do it until after, which is, I guess no one really rewatches the VOD that much or checks back, but the past VODs, there have been some resources that I linked back to, kind of the things I was talking about as like a reference point. And actually I did that today earlier, before I got started. And I linked 3 links to articles that they're a little different, but they do talk about dimensions of health. And it's interesting because different articles, different thought processes, some people like to simplify, which is fine, but you're gonna see like, oh, there's some articles that say there's only 5, or they only list 5 dimensions of health, whereas there's another article will say, well, actually there's 7, and then there's gonna be another one that says, oh, there's 6 dimensions of health. And I've seen like articles that say, oh, there's more than 5, there's more than 6, there's 8, there's 9, I don't know. But so this is interesting. But for today's sake, we'll talk about kind of, let's see, how many did I write? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I took like these 3 articles and there's some repeats, right? So obviously the most obvious, almost every article will talk about the physical dimension of health, right? That includes the obvious. So I'm on dimension number 3, but I guess, or question number 3, talking about dimensions, sorry. But yeah, when you think about like your health goals, it's kind of interesting to think like, oh, what category does it fall under? Yeah, so if you guys have any health goals, some examples would be, something that's like in the more mental, emotional dimension of wellness is like, oh, one of my health goals is I want to feel happier. And that would be related to more like your mood, your hormones, and perspective, like outlook and mental dialogue with your, like internal dialogue with yourself, which is mostly in the mental and internal landscape. I would say like mood and hormones, like especially hormones, that's actually, now that I think about it, it's like more physical or physiological, which can kind of be what's a good word? I want to say manipulated, but hormones can be manipulated by the things you eat and the things you do and how you interact and like what you engage in, right? If for me, I've had to learn it the hard way. If I engage with constantly bad news, it's not a shock that I would start to slowly feel kind of bad, and that shapes my perspective. So maybe like disengaging in negative spaces, negative topics, or like, topics that are more, that will put you at risk to, putting you in a bad mood or something. I don't know. But yeah, if your health and, emotional well-being is part of your health, and so if you want to feel happier, there's different plans to go about how to address that. If there's, if you want to feel stronger, what does that mean? Physically, mentally, emotionally, like socially, you want to be able to feel more present in a room or something. There's different ways to go about that. Actually, I keep saying actually, I can probably do cardio while talking about this with you, going over the check-in questions. Let's bring out the Gym Buddy Poe. Let me bring out Gym Buddy Poe. Where are you, Poe? Oh, there you are. Hi, Gym Buddy Poe is here with us, ready to demonstrate all that is good. Let's see, I'm gonna yeet, and we're gonna do some cardio while we talk about the check-in questions today. I did break it down and maybe gets people to think about like, oh, these are some topics we can talk about, or even journal about. Like if you're always wondering like, oh, what should I write about? I don't know what to write about. Like, I don't know, maybe just think about, you know, what are your goals for your health? If you have health problems, I guess I'm trying to think like of a demographic of people who don't have, who wouldn't necessarily have, because I do know some really awesome people who are pretty balanced, and but I'm pretty sure just because they're balanced, they've probably had to ask these questions to themselves in order to get to a state of balance, right? To get to a state of like consistency and routine and like stability, because it's, you know, I think they understand it is a bit of a maintenance. Like what you eat, you don't just eat one meal and you don't have to eat a meal for like a week. No, I mean, unless it's like a condition where you can't eat or you don't want to eat, but in which case that you still need fuel. Why am I trying to find something I can't find? We're gonna run. Oh, we always do that. We always run towards each other. Oh, okay, here we go. All right, we're gonna do our cardio because that is important. We're gonna one of these days. One of these days, this is gonna work. Okay, all right, we're going somewhere. We're going somewhere. Okay. I mean, very rarely you get to see the back of my jacket, so I mean, come on, like that's a nice. We gotta show off the jacket bling, right? Here we go. We're doing cardio, so it's as if we're walking or running next to each other. So okay. All right, we're doing our thing. Cardio. Let's get at it. Okay, so I'm gonna do my cardio. This is once again invitation to do cardio only for now. I think I need to be really firm in the words that I say, because I'll be like, hey, this is an invite to join me, ha ha ha, and then someone's like, you're always so nice, Poe. I thought it was an invitation to do XYZ, and I'm like, I never said that. You're misunderstanding the vibe. So again, if you wanna walk, you know, around the block, if there's a park, if it's still bright out, if it's, you know, if you have like a stationary bike yourself or like a treadmill at home, or I don't know, you want to do some, or you want to get started on some of your own workout while having a little bit of chatting, that is also a thing. So let us get started. I'm gonna go ahead and bam. I don't know if I should record my workout. I feel like I want to for the teehees, but let me see. I'm gonna try to see if I can record my workout. All right, indoor cycling. Here we go. Okay, so going back to today's check-in questions, things to think about, things to reflect on, journal topics. Yeah, so number one, health goals. This is more than just like what you assume. I guess it's more like the definition of your health and how you want to go about it. It's more than just physical, although physical health is really important. There's also the mental, emotional, and maybe some people feel lost and they're not sure what they want to do in life. That's also part of your health, right? That's part of like how you want to navigate, and that can be a source of stressor for some. Let's see. So we talked about like, you know, maybe your goal for health is you want to feel happier. Maybe your goal for health is you want to feel stronger physically. That would be like gaining muscle mass. That would be another goal is like, I want to feel more energized, right? I remember there was a time where I was like wondering why I was experiencing so much fatigue, and it made no sense until I realized, oh, it's literally like it's a vitamin deficiency, a duh. Right? And so maybe addressing these tiny little things and polishing up, you know, whatever thing that's hindering you. So for me, it was like, oh, I wasn't, you know, maybe didn't have enough calories, I didn't have enough nutrients or whatnot. Maybe your goal is, hey, I want to have more stamina and endurance so that I can like run a mile. You know, maybe that's like a goal. That's more like a fitness goal, but it's also a health goal. They're all related. Maybe your health goal is to like, hey, I want to lower my cholesterol, or I want to lower my BMI, or you know, I want to gain muscle, or I want to lose I want to shed some fat, or I want to tone up, or whatever. Maybe your health goal is, hey, I want to feel confident. You know, like, so that's like your goal. That's like your attention. So then, you know, again, each goal will require slightly different things to do. that will get you to your goal. So feeling confident, we're kind of already touching on like, okay, so this is related to self-esteem, right? And this can also be about like your mental space, how you perceive yourself. And I mean, there's a checklist, obviously, and one of the checklists when it comes to self-confidence or self-esteem is being able to set mental boundaries when you compare. Because actually, comparison is probably the thing that slowly chips away at a person's self-confidence and self-esteem. But that's just like one little checkbox, like a thing to like figure out. Another quote unquote checkbox is to really assess like, well, how do you talk to yourself, and what are your interactions like, right? Externally and internally. So you'd have to like reassess that, do some housekeeping there to feel like you can again work towards said goal. So if your goal is to feel more confident, you'll have to address like, well, where is the source of the insecurity coming from, right? Is it my environment? Is it external of me? Is it myself? Like, am I the blocker? Am I the one contributing to my low self-esteem? And then, so in order to, you have to identify these things, these barriers, these factors, in order to be able to like recognize like, oh, hey, I should, what can I do about this? And then your goal to feel confident can be realized. Yeah, pretty simple, right? Pretty straightforward. But I think sometimes having these reminders are pretty good. I know it's helpful for me every now and again, but it's also just feeling, being able to feel seen and heard with whatever you are going through, or whatever your health goal is. Maybe, your health goal is, hey, I just want to eat better. I recognize that my diet is not the best, or I don't like it, but it's just whatever is available. But so like, I want to eat better. So, that's going to rely on your diet and nutrition, and maybe meal prepping. Most of the time, whatever your goal is for any of these 4 questions, you're gonna want to be ready to possibly change something. Like, something's gonna have to like shift, something's gonna have to be released, let go of, or you're gonna have to add something in order to achieve your goal. And yeah, that's what it takes. And so that takes a bit of like mental prep. You have to kind of build yourself up for like, okay, so what do I need to get rid of? What do I need to let go? What are some things I need to address and maybe add to my, add to what I need to do to achieve my goal, whatever that is, related to my health or whatever. This is, I guess, is like a template for anything else you want to do. So with like eating better, you'd have to like take a really hard look at, okay, well, what am I doing now? And then my goal is I want to eat better. So what does that look like? And then you'd have to like sit down, literally write down what you want it to look like, and then see how realistic. Because like once you write it down, that's like the idealistic version of your goal. So you write it all down like, oh, I'm gonna, this is what I want. That's the idealism phase. Like, I guess you could call it the honeymoon phase, right? Everything has a honeymoon phase, believe it or not. And like, I always say that it's good to have that idealism because it'll get you started. But that's one thing. That's like part 1. Part 2 is like, okay, momentum, like keep going, like, and like and then like the realism sets. And when the realism sets and you anticipate like, oh, this is harder than I thought, so when you get to that point of like, oh, this is harder than I thought, what's gonna keep you going? It should be your goal. Like, it should be the why. Like, why are you doing this? It's like, oh, because I want to, eat better. That was my goal from the start. So that should be the motivation or momentum. Why do you want to exercise? Because I want to feel better. I want the happy hormones. I want muscle. I want good health. I need to block out time to do this for myself because I know it's good for me in the long run. So that's like your motivation. That's your why, right? And that's gonna be the thing that like keeps you going when you hit that point after the honeymoon phase, after the initial like start, where you're like, oh yeah, that's why I started, is because I wanted to be healthy. My goal was to feel happier, or my goal was to lower my cholesterol and lose weight or something. I don't know, whatever your goal is. My goal was to feel confident, or my goal was to, eat better. And so this is why I'm eating food that I usually don't eat, which is like more protein in my diet, like, you know, or more vegetables, which maybe you don't like vegetables, so you're like, why am I eating vegetables? I hate vegetables. Maybe there's a way where you can find vegetables that you do like, or you can look up recipes, or, you know, learn to add some seasoning to the food, or I don't know. So it's quite an adventure, right? Maybe your health goal is like, you know, part of my health involves like my environment, and so therefore I want to be more environmentally conscious. And where do we start with that, right? It opens up this whole Pandora box of, you know, like, now that you have a goal, which path do you want to choose? And it's a process of elimination, like, if I do this, if I do that, and you kind of just block it all out. Writing things down is really good. So that's all I wanted to say for question 1. Question 2 is like, okay, what are your fitness goals? Meaning, so health goals and fitness goals are they overlap. They can be very similar, but like a fitness goal is like, I want to be able to run 1 mile in under 15 minutes, right? Like that's like the minimum for like high school, I think, for some places. I don't know. But maybe you want to get back into that, right? Like, so that's a very concrete fitness goal, meaning your body needs to be at some level of like fitness to be able to achieve that goal. What's another fitness goal? I want to be able to walk a certain amount of steps per day. Whether that's, you know, minimum, I want to walk at least 5,000 steps as a start, and then I want to eventually walk at least 10,000 steps, right? And so even if you don't hit your metric, it might like motivate you to like get a few more steps in than you normally would have without a goal. You would have just been kind of like, oh, it's whatever. I don't know. It's like, maybe I walked 1,000, maybe I didn't. But like when you're conscious of a goal, I think the fun part is the metrics part. I don't know. I started liking metrics when I got really overwhelmed with to-do lists, and I switched my approach, and I started keeping a log. And a log simply tells me like what I did or what I accomplished, and that's very motivating. Actually, when I have a list of things I have not done yet, it's overwhelming. I have like 5 things I have not done that day, but then I realized, wait, I didn't. My to-do list is just the things that I ideally would like to accomplish, but my log tells me what I have accomplished. Even if it's not on my to-do list, I still did it. So usually on my to-do list, I don't write things like, oh, I did the laundry, or like I did a grocery run, or, you know, I helped, you know, my neighbor fix a light bulb or something, right? Like that wasn't on my to-do list, but I still accomplished that. And so when I started writing down the things I accomplished, I was like, oh, hey, that's a very measurable, that's a metric, and that's pretty good. And it makes me feel less bad about not accomplishing my to-do list. It's not to say that it justifies not accomplishing my to-do list, but it's like a balancing act. It balances me out a lot better, so then I can kind of give myself a little bit more grace that way, right? It's not an excuse. It's more of like, hey, you know, I did do some stuff, and it changes the negative voice into like a positive, constructive one. And there is something that is taught, I don't know if it's through CBT or DBT, but it is actually, you do have to kind of challenge your negative thinking sometimes, right? And it can be very difficult to do in your own mind, but there's always a start. And that's why if you speak to like a professional therapist, they can be the one to externally help you with that. And then over time, you know, after you've gained some momentum, ideally, maybe it's something you can do for yourself. Like, wait a minute, did I really get nothing done today? Maybe, right? But then like that positive reframe can be like, well, I did eat, I did do the hygiene routine. Let's see, I did do a little bit of cleaning, not like a lot, but you know, so these are like listing out the things that you did. So the metrics is really important. So again, fitness goals, going back to that, is like, you want to be able to, maybe a fitness goal of someone is like, I want to be able to bench a certain amount of pounds by the end of the year. So a metric goal is like, okay, well, you know, today I was able to do my I was able to bench, I was able to do my workout routine. Yeah, I was able to do my workout routine, and I was only able to bench, let's just say, I'm just gonna throw out an arbitrary number, okay? Like, this is just an example. I was only able to bench 100 pounds, but my goal is by the end of the year, or whatever your time limit, you should give yourself a deadline. I know, right? You should try, it helps. Because if you just don't give yourself a deadline, it's like, oh, well, whatever, whenever. So that's not very helpful. There's no metrics, because if it's, you should try to give yourself like a deadline. Like, my goal is end of the year. I wanna try to bench 150 or 200 pounds, whatever the amount is. You decide based on where you're currently at. So, you know, the thinking, the thought process, and the strategy or whatever is, you know, so you would write in your log, today I benched 100 pounds, and I did this many sets, I did this many. And then tomorrow I'm gonna try this many, that's my goal. And then, like, you slowly, incrementally, like, increase your pounds until you hit your goal. So that's for benching. Really easy to see the metrics, like, that's like so straightforward. How do you do that for something that's not very tangible, like your own emotions, right? Like, that's, you can't really grab your emotion and like put it in a binder, like a folder, and say, okay, this you exist here. No, it's not tangible. Whereas, like, with weights, it's very clear. You can either do it or you can't. So it's very straightforward. With emotions, I think this requires a lot of, like, you know, journaling. That's the only thing you can really do. If you've ever taken one of those, like, surveys, and they ask things like, oh, how, you know, on a scale of like 1 to 10, how did you feel? 10 being great, I felt amazing, this was the greatest thing in the whole world. 0 being I hated it, it made me feel worse, it was terrible. You know, like, it's like a sliding scale. So something that's really fun about bullet journaling and journaling is that you can also log your mood. You can also log your, like, whatever hobby that you're trying to do, like exercise or crocheting or knitting, whatever, or drawing or sketching, whatever. If you did it that day, you fill in a little thing, you color in a little box and said you did it that day, and that tracks your metrics for something like that, the action. So with your mood, you would just, you know, put somewhere on your journal or whatever, today my mood is a, you know, give it a number on a scale of like 10 or even 100, like give it like a percentage, like 100 being I'm at my best, 100%, this is what 100 feels like to me. And, you know, it's great. Can't believe that was 15 minutes already. Wow, 15 minutes of cardio just like literally ran by. So that's pretty good. All right, let me see. My cardio is done for today. Well, for the warm-up. We're gonna do some things. All right, cardio is done. Good for us. Lately, in terms of metrics, I've been logging in my time of study. So I'll, like, okay, I started here. Like, when I'm ready to start, like, I have my books and my material for studying. I write down, okay, I started at 3 p.m. I don't know, or like I started at 6 p.m., right? And then I'll study, and then I'm like, oh, I'm really tired. I look at the time, oh, it's like 8 p.m. I'll write down like, oh, 8:15. Okay, so I studied for like, what, like 2 hours and 15 minutes or whatever, right? And so that helps me. That's a metric, right? So if someone says like, oh, why am I struggling in this class? Well, you know, someone could easily ask, well, how much time have you put into this content or this material that you're trying to learn? And someone says, I don't know. Well, that's not helpful. But if someone says, oh, you know, I don't really spend much time, then that's kind of an indicator. But if someone says, I've been spending like 3 hours every day studying this material, you know, it's still really hard. Then you're like, okay, all right, so I see you're putting in the time, you're doing it on your own, you're trying, and maybe you have questions, you know, and then from there you can kind of like help figure out what you need to do. Like, you can help yourself, or you can, you know, someone can easily identify like, oh, well, you know, have you tried talking to a tutor? Maybe you'd spend less time by just getting your answers easily and like quickly answered, so you'd save a little bit more time. So that's a suggestion that can be offered. or if you were able to document, like, okay, I've been spending 3 hours. They were not very effective because I still had a lot of questions and there's so many things I don't understand. So then, you know, the next step would be, okay, how do I get, you know, more clarity? Then there's like all these like study tips, things, and figuring out like what works for you, right? There's a lot of like ways to like figure out and probe and you know, accomplish, you know, your goals. So if the metrics are very helpful. And then like going back to like something that's like less tangible, like your emotions, logging your emotions over time is really good. So yeah, I had to do that for a while because and then at one point I was, you know, I was writing and I was noticing my mood was improving just based on a number. This is also very subjective, and it doesn't really matter because it's if you feel like you're getting better, then it'll show. So it's not like it's no right or wrong answer. Like if that day you feel like a 6, then you feel like a 6. You're just kind of like, all right, well, I'm not like rock bottom, but you know, I'm just all right. Okay, cool. Then you write, you know, 6. Maybe you journal or you log your mood for that another day and it's like a 3 and you're like, this is really bad. I'm not feeling it. Then okay, you know, you did your journaling, you logged it, and you're processing and you're reflecting, and maybe few days later you're getting a little better and you're back to like a 5 or a 6, and you're like, hey, you know, like, yeah, that was kind of like a low point, but like I'm back to normal. It's not prolonged. I'm not like constantly in that state of mind when I was a 3. And then maybe some good things happen, you know, the next day or along the way or in a month later, and you're like, hey, you know, I'm a 7 or an 8. I'm you know, and I'm able to maintain a 7 or 8 for like 2 weeks, and I'm feeling pretty good. Like I've implemented some changes. I've been, you know, able to, you know, address all of my concerns that I have with myself and with like a situation or whatever. And so that's also a way to create metrics around your emotions, and that can help with your goals, right? So if your goal is I want to feel happier, well, we're gonna have to start that documentation process. We're gonna have to start that journaling process because how else are you gonna capture, you know, your emotions? It's no one's like following you around. That's called being a creeper. That's stalkish, and not even doctors don't even do that. You know, they check in with you every like week or in the least like once a month, right? So once a month they do their own assessment, and they're like, the patient is doing better, or the patient's about the same, or the person's like, oh, kind of spiraling, getting worse. We should do some interventions. You know, here's some additional resources. Would you like to try them? Blah blah blah, right? But like if you don't want to go through that route, like you know, I don't want to get therapy, I don't want to go to the doctor, then yeah, you can try to do this type of work for yourself, which is log if not journal, log about your experiences to get some metrics, and that information is very helpful. But if you don't know what to do with that information, that's fine too, right? Then you're just gonna have to maybe share that with like someone who does know and be like, well, you know, I documented all of my depression journey, so this is what I've been doing. Someone will look at it and will be like, well, it sounds like you're engaging in a lot of like really negative activities. Maybe that's what's, you know, keeping your mood down. Maybe they might suggest like, oh, maybe try not following that negative social media influencer, or not you know, being chronically online. Maybe try to get some sunlight. You know, these are just suggestions, but again, if you do them or not, it is what it is, right? Like, what's that saying? It's really good. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't drown it. You shouldn't dunk its head in, right? Yeah. What dimensions of health do you focus on? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, physical, mental, emotional. The 3 links that I shared talk about, one article says there's 6 dimensions, one says there's 7, there's another article that says 5. I'm aware of that, but it's, yeah, you can try to adjust as many. I've written down 8 just off the top of my head. Oh, about the about the horse. No, for sure. Like I don't know what people expect sometimes. It's very weird. it's like, so like I you know, like the doctor or like a coach or like a mentor, if you will, or your friends, even your family will say like, hey, have you tried drinking more water and staying hydrated? Have you tried you know, going out and stop being glued to your computer? And then, you know, we take it personally, be like, no, you don't understand, I get happy hormones when I play video games that go boom 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 pew pew and I win and yeah, and so that is my joy, my source of joy, and you can't take it away from me. So I actually saw this video about like, okay, so bear with me, it's like iPad kids, right? I got a glimpse of it and I heard it's like pretty bad. Oh yeah, but when you actually see the reaction, it's pretty terrifying. So like the parents are being parents, right? They're like, hey, okay, it's time out now, no more. It's you gotta go to sleep, right? It's like 9 p.m. We're gonna take away the no more iPad, right? Sleep time, bedtime. The kids are like, the kid is like losing, screaming, like just melt down, instant, like no emotional regulation gone. Happy hormone dopamine just instantly cut. Like, oh my God, they're just melting and they're just freaking out. And so you know, like trying to tell someone like, hey, you know, have you tried not using technology as much and maybe reading a book, going to the library, going to like a music concert, reaching out to friends, seeing if you want to like, you know, go to a cafe, you know, something just normal. And like they'll be like, no, you don't understand. And it's like, okay, well, I just gave you like a suggestion to help, but you don't want to take it. So it's like, what can I do? I can't like force you to go out with your friends, or I can't force you away from your computer and video games. Like I can't dunk the horse's head into the water. Sorry. Yeah. It is. And I think a lot of people are learning like, oh shoot, I can't just give my child something and then take it away and then without any sort of like, you know, rules and regulations. And yeah, no, it's a lot. There's a lot to unpack there for sure. Maybe I can share some of it during, what is it, non-binary parents day, which is coming up in April. I believe that is what, April 19th? And then April 6th is Asexuality Awareness Day. And yeah, it'll probably be something like how I'm talking today, where I share some stuff, and maybe you already know it, maybe you don't, maybe it's just positive reinforcement, right? Like sometimes it's just nice to have some positive reinforcement, like, oh hey, yeah, that's how I was thinking before. It's good that there's people who talk about it, and maybe there's some research that backs this up, so cool, you know, it's like positive reinforcement. Or, you know, maybe it's like, oh, I was thinking really negatively about this topic, and now that I've, you know, seen a different perspective, I'm like, huh, it's kind of like made me think or reconsider the subject matter. So I don't know. it's all on you, right? Y'all are horsies. I just be putting a pail of water in front of you. Oh hey, welcome in. Hello. Hey Panda, good to see you. Hi. Oh yeah. Cool. Okay, sounds good. Enjoy your concert. That's so awesome. I was literally just talking about like some fun things to do outside of the internet. That's so cool. If you get a chance, feel free to rewatch the VOD. Otherwise, have fun, enjoy the concert. Don't call you out like that. Nay, I will call I will call you out. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for checking in. I love it. I love to hear that folks are enjoying their life, having a good time, and, you know, enjoying things that are maybe putting them outside of like the usual like confines of a screen. Yeah, live your life, you know. Be in the moment. Don't just record, or, you know, don't just record the concert, but like be part of the concert, be part of the concert. I don't know when this started to like bother me. I don't know if that's because I'm old. No, it became really weird to me, and I don't know when this became my philosophy or like ideology. Like, I don't care if other people do it. Like, obviously I can't tell people to stop recording, but like for me, I think this happened maybe like 2 years ago, like a year and a half ago. I don't know, it's kind of recent, but like when I'm at some kind of event, I kind of like, because I think something happened to me was I did record something, but then I missed something that wasn't recorded. And then someone told me like, hey, did you see that? I was like, wait, what? No, I was recording this. And they're like, dude, just put your phone away. I was like, what? And I was so not present. I was not present. I wasn't able to just be in the space, like be present. I was like in my phone. Like my state of mind was not like in the environment. It was looking on a screen, like on my phone. And I was like, shoot. And then I realized like and then like if I think about it, I'm not gonna do anything with this footage. Like it's just, I'm just trying to capture a moment, but then as a result of capturing it, I actually miss the moment. And then what ends up happening is when I go home or whatever, I'm like trying to relive the moment through a screen when I was just there. So I was like, huh. So then at that point, it kind of like reinforces a logic I usually have, which is like, oh, well, I can just watch it online. The main reason why I don't usually go to like in-person events is like, or like a concert or something, is because actually I can just watch it online, right? But then there is a different experience when you're like there in person. So yeah. Anyways, I was just thinking like, it's kind of like I lose the moment of being present with like the people around me, like whoever, if I'm attending with a friend, you know, I'm glued to like my device instead of like connecting with my friend and being like, hey, what do you think of the concert? Like, did you see so and so, you know, did that, and like they riffed and they did the backflip. And I was like, no, I mean, I just saw it through this, you know, I saw it through my screen instead of like actually seeing the person do it. So I don't know. And usually those types of concerts, sometimes depending if they're like private or whatever, they do have a recording of it, so I guess you just relive it there. But I think there's some novelty of like, oh, you have it. And I'm starting to feel this is just like more like a hypothesis. Obviously there needs to be more like research, sociology and like technology and, you know, media arts research on that. But I don't think I'm the only person who thinks this way, obviously. So it is really interesting when people bring this up, like when you're at some kind of event, like an art gallery, and you don't look at the art, but you look at it through a device. It's almost like we're almost emulating this is like prehistoric augmented reality, because that's essentially, because I used to be really interested in like technology and stuff like that. I'm gonna do my push-ups in just a minute, and I'll come back to augmented reality. So I was looking into augmented reality and trying to like differentiate differentiate it between virtual reality and augmented reality. And it was really cool because yeah, there is a distinction. So like virtual reality is where you're kind of like immersed. You're a character in a virtual space, and that's like the virtual reality. Whereas augmented reality is you're still in the physical world, like you're still in your body, but you're engaging, you're interacting or interfacing with the physical world through some kind of augmentation. So there was like a question posed, like a person who's like has their arm, you know, if they have like an amputated arm and they get it replaced with like a bionic arm or whatever, or even something as simple as like a person in a wheelchair. That is actually like a very that is a form of augmented reality, because, you know, they're interacting with the physical world through an augmentation, which is the chair that, you know. And then if a person has like an arm that's not theirs, but they're interacting with the world through this augmentation. But if you don't have like, you know, a limb missing or something, then the augment is like your glasses that tell you the information. It's actually like they were in that class, or in that example of where I learned, you know, about that. They're saying even technically Google Maps is like an augmentation of the real world. Yeah, I mean, technically, like more historically, like more ancient is like using a map. And then, you know, is the map an augment of the reality? It's less, but it's like hinting at, it's like getting there. But the difference is that you're still using a physical object in the physical world to interact with the physical world, whereas an augment is when it's more digital, it's more obvious. So I thought that was really interesting. I'll let that sit and swirl about as I do my push-ups. Let's get them done. Let us see. I'm gonna whoop. Here we go. We're gonna do some push-ups. And for anyone who wants to do push-ups, you're more than welcome to do as many as you like alongside with me. And we will have that. Hello, Lettuce Gremlin. It's so good to see you. Welcome in. I'm actually about to do some push-ups. I had a lot of topics that I covered in a short amount of time. Well, actually not a short amount. It's been what, like about 50 minutes. All right, sounds good. If you need to do whatever you need to do. I guess that's like another thing. Like there's certain like fitness games that kind of mimic exercise. I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about augmented reality, do certain fitness games like augment fitness and exercise? I never thought about that question, but now that's on my brain, so I don't know. You're gonna get those gains. You're gonna like, oh, okay, yes, that sounds good. Don't mind me. I will just be doing my push-ups, and Jim Buddy Poe will be doing Beat Saber. Yeah, because the thing is with the Beat Saber, yes, you're doing the motion, right? You're doing the motion, but there's no like resistance or actual like. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna talk about that in just a moment. Let me do my push-ups first. There's something that could be said about that. Yeah, it's VR. It is VR because, like I said, the definition of VR is like you're a character in a virtual space, right? But it can be AR too. Yes, it's also somewhat augmented reality. So that was my question. That is my question that I was trying to ask. Is like, okay, so like these virtual like fitness simulator games, are they like simulating exercise? So is it, even though it is VR, is it also augmentation of exercise? So that was my question, right? Yeah, it's also it's like VR and AR. So it's VR in the sense that you're like a character in that virtual space. So that's like that checks that definition box. And then my question was like, oh, but is it also AR because it's augmenting your experience in the real world where you're trying to emulate exercise but through something else. Yeah. Yep. That was my thinking because I never really thought about it because I don't really play Beat Saber, but yeah, since we're on that topic. Good. Okay, brain is moving. All right, push-ups. I don't like these, but if you want to do some push-ups, you're more than welcome to. If you don't want to do the push-ups, that is also a choice, but this is the time and space to do fitness and exercise. So if you choose to, you are allowed to do such. So let me turn up some music, and yeah, for anyone who feels compelled, has the space, has the resources, yeah, please do some push-ups with me. If not, I will just suffer by myself, and that's okay too. Here we go. Here we go. All right, here we go. That's one. That is two. All right, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my gosh, I hate sit-ups. I hate push-ups. I don't want to do sit-ups already. All right, what was that? 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, that was 10. Let's go. Yeah. Not bad. We did 10. All right. I will never not like push-ups, but that's okay. I can feel myself getting stronger. You know what I mean? That's the cool thing. So it's like you would think like I'd be like, this is awesome, and I'd be so pumped up, but I should have that mentality. I should be like, no, this is actually really good. Like I literally feel like my muscles getting stronger. I can literally feel my biceps now. That's great. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, not fun doing them, but like if I know like, hey, like I'm working muscles that don't normally get worked, and they have gotten stronger. Like no, when I first started, you can see my muscle now. Before, I did not have muscle. Like it was not as prominent because I lost a lot of muscle during the, you know, the lockdown. Everyone probably had to stay home. Some people probably had their home gym, you know, and they still continue to stay fit, but yeah, it's just motivation gone. So it's really inspiring to feel like, oh man, like I'm getting back my strength again. So I should keep that like, okay, this is good, this is okay, you know. But you know, every now and again I do like to try to be a little whiny. I want to try to be, you know, relatable, because I don't usually like to complain. I don't really like to be that I try to just take things as they are. But you know, I do think that being able to observe something through a critical lens can be beneficial in some ways, right? That way you can kind of make decisions for yourself as opposed to just only going with the flow. And that's another thing. I think this is just like me personally, but I personally have never really liked being around people who like their entire personality is complaining. Like it's okay if they want to complain about like a few things here and there or vent. Yeah, no, and so it was really hard for me to connect with some family members who, you know, like, you know, because they do be complaining, like, why is it like this? Like, but, you know, and then it was funny because I've also been told, like, oh, complaining doesn't get you results. Like, you can complain all you want, like, complain. But at the end of the day, what are you doing about it? And like when I was told that, I was like, oh my gosh, you're so right. So like I can still like complain, right? Like I'll still do my little, you know, like spiel. But then like if I want something to change and it's within something I can do, then I'll be like, yeah, I should be proactive about it, right? I think that's like more constructive in my opinion. Like some people will be like, oh, well, I just want to complain to complain. I don't want to contribute to the solution. But you're, you know, so whereas for me, I think like if you complain, cool, like you're revealing that this is like something that's wrong. But then the next step is, okay, do you want to contribute? Like, do you want to, you know, make a little report and say like, hey, did you know, like this is happening and this is not good and it was a bad experience for me. You know, I hope it doesn't happen again. And like, you know, try to contribute to the solution. Or do you want to just kind of be like don't say anything, hush hush, you know, let them figure it out. Maybe they'll never figure it out, you know. But it's a mentality thing for sure. Like if you don't like something about in your life, like you don't like something about yourself, you don't like something about a situation, what can you do? Let's be proactive about it. What is possible, right? It's unless it's like a organization that's like literally kind of beyond you. If it's like within your own life, there always is one thing you can do. Or like something. There's always something you can do. It can be hard, and sometimes the thing that you want to do or can't, you know, should do or you want to do is like not easy to do. That's also a thing. Recognizing that. But yeah, I don't particularly think complaining and then kind of like expecting results from a complaint is very helpful or constructive. Having been in a, you know, in kind of a hospitality, you know, industry where you know, you have to make sure people's needs are met, right? Based off of like what is expected, right? So like if someone goes to a store and makes a purchase, and then the purchase is like faulty, right? You know, how can we resolve that? And you know, what am I trying to say? Like, they can complain, like that will reveal like, hey, this is a problem. But then like you could be like a terrible employee and be like, oh, not my problem, sorry. No, actually it is your problem because you're the employee, you're a representative of the thing, so you should do something about it, right? But I don't know. What am I doing? I am doing the thing where it's called transferable skills. So I'm using like experience from like one area of my life, say employment and whatever, and I'm applying it to something else. So that's a kind of a transferable skill. Right, gonna shake that out. So it's really interesting when I speak to like younger folks who don't have work experience yet, and then, or they only have limited work experience, and then I tell them about like, you know, you have transferable skills, you know that, right? And it's not like you have no skills or like you don't have any skills. Like that's kind of the mentality. So like, for example, when I was younger and, you know, they do the thing to prepare you for college or career and whatnot, and they'll say things like, you know, the young person will say, I have no skills, I don't have any experience, I don't know what I do. And it's like, so what do you do with that kind of situation? You kind of have to pull from like, well, have you ever done anything, even if it's not like work related, that was like, you know, that demonstrated your skills, your ability to do this type of work? You know, have you ever, you know, been a leader? And that can look differently. Maybe not in an employment situation, but maybe you've had to like manage, arrange, organize, supervise, you know, an activity or an event at school. That's a skill. You know, you were responsible. You had to demonstrate some level of responsibility. So I guess you just slap that on your resume or portfolio. And that's why I guess they tell kids now these days to do volunteer work. You need to volunteer, get some experience, get some, you know, see the world, see organizations, be out there, do stuff. So yeah, the complaint about like, oh, I don't have any skills, I can't do anything, it's just, I don't know, that doesn't really sit well with me. Or like, oh, I'm too old to learn a new skill. Yikes, big yikes. That's a really big red flag for me. Especially if you're younger. I don't think I've ever experienced something like that in a long time. But then when you're like on the internet, there's all kinds of people, and so I'm constantly learning and growing and figuring things out. Like transferable skills, it's really important to have. Yeah. Yep. All right. I guess I'll have to do my next set of push-ups. I'm just kind of thinking like, is what I say like, does that? He just cleaned a building. Nice. Yeah. People rather complain and no action. Yeah. And that is something I've been reflecting on, King, believe it or not. I think to a point of a fault, I'll be completely honest. I think, like, so what, complaining and no action, that has been something I've been thinking about to a fault. And meaning, I'm not ruminating, like, I'm not losing sleep over it. What I'm saying is, like, it has changed my behavior, and then I realized that I caught that. I was like, wait a minute, now I'm overextending, and so I have to, like, you know, have to pull myself back. I was like, wait, I gotta set some boundaries here, right? Like, I'm not gonna do that overextension. Oh, really? No transferable skill to you're studying though. Okay, bet. All right, are you ready? Are you ready for me to work some magic? Are you ready? All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do some magic. I've been told that the things I want to do in my life aren't real skills. All right. Hold that thought. All right. Okay, I'm gonna do a magic. All right, I don't want your consent. I want to do your consent. I don't want to, like, I'm about to, like, attempt to, like, you know, change this idea. Okay, so whatever you're studying, let's just say it's quote unquote something that has, you know, no transferable skills. the steps you've taken to organize your thoughts, your material, time manage so that you can succeed in what you're studying is actually a skill. So although this is kind of tricky. So I'm not saying that, like, say for example, you're studying plumbing. Okay, maybe plumbing is not, okay, maybe when I think of plumbing, it's just like, you're plunging, a toilet seat. But like, there's more to it than that. So the discipline, the time management. So if you succeed in studying what you're studying, what you're doing, the major might not have a transferable skill, maybe, but the process of getting to a successful level of competency for that, like, skill, that discipline, that time management, that learning, that's the skill. All right. Now prove me wrong. No, tell me what you think about that. Yes, no? Still? Writing and the arts aren't real skills, apparently. Okay, yeah, so that is what I have to say, Lettuce. What are your thoughts? I didn't want to instigate, but I did want to try to, like, see if... Because that's the mentality. That's the mentality. Yeah. Does that make sense though? Like, I hope I'm making sense, because I know there will be people who don't agree with me, obviously, but like, if the people do see what I'm saying, right? Okay. A drone doing whatever I was told. Ah, okay. Let me think. When I think of volunteer work, being a team player. Okay, you might not like this, but being a drone is okay. I'm not a very good drone. I can be a drone, but it is kind of a skill-ish, because you have to understand the task. You have to be able to accomplish it, right, without being like a rebel and not doing it. So basically the skill there is you know how to follow instructions, you know how to be a team player, you know how to be cooperative. Yeah. We like good henchmen. So, yeah, it'd be a good, yeah. In terms of like leadership, if you wanted to, you could learn more like leadership skills, and like, being able to not just, follow instructions, but be more proactive in the process. But I don't know, it's a weird system we're in. It's a very weird system we're in. There's actually a lot to unpack there, if you think about it. I'm gonna try to get into it after my next set of push-ups. All right, so let's sit with it. Let's all sit here in this headspace for a minute as I once again suffer with my next set. 10. All I gotta do is 10. For sure. Yeah, it's a perspective thing, for sure. It's like definitely a perspective, but I think I really appreciate when you say you can identify that, oh, what I do is very like drone-like. That's actually interesting, because sometimes for me, I don't even realize when I am a drone. So that is a level of self-awareness, and that I don't always have, that sometimes I do need to like take a step back and assess. Sometimes I have gotten better at it in the more recent years, but when I was younger, I don't think I had that ability to think like, like what am I doing that's contributing to the system? I was just really happy to just be there, and that's dangerous too, right? Hold on. You won't get shamed for not fitting in the little boxes most people think are right ways to live. Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah. Interesting. I see what you're saying, Allie. I see what you're saying there. That makes sense. That is still something that is an ongoing thing for myself. But in terms of like life and personal life, that's different. Let me sit with that. Let me sit with that. Give me one moment, yeah? Let's sit with that for just a minute. Okay, I'm gonna do these push-ups really quick. Oh, stalling is real. Dude, I could feel my bicep. I don't know why my left bicep feels stronger than my right. Like that doesn't make any sense, but okay, I'll figure that out later as well. All right, push-ups, let's go. Here we go. Anyone doing push-ups? Now is your time. Get ready for some push-ups. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oof. 7, 8, 9. Okay, that was 10. Ugh. 10. That is 10 push-ups. Okay, we did it. All right. Second set of push-ups have been updated. Yeah. Yeah. So just trying to get into the right headspace. My understanding is that in that kind of situation, it's like you either have to 2 or 3 things. If you can think of more, then cool, but just in general, you either have to like prove them wrong and succeed really hard. 2, you won't succeed in the way that, you know, society or your group, your tribe, you know, your community, your friends, your family, whatever, expects. And then 3, but you're happy. Yeah, so it's all of these kind of like working together to, not working together, but just kind of like swirling around each other. So it's either you succeed or you fail. That's one. And then the like your environment, your direct environment will either like praise you for your success or like see like, oh, hey, you know, you proved me wrong. Or like secondly, they'll be like, oh, well, I told you so. And then 3, it's either you're happy or you become miserable because, yeah, it just gets to you. I don't know. That just kind of seems like the pattern. So, yeah. I'm trying to sit with it to think like how to navigate that, and that takes a lot of thinking. Yeah, that definitely takes a lot of thinking. Okay, so let me go back to yeah. So right way to live is really, really interesting, especially in our current climate. I wanted to bring up a topic, but I don't know if it's gonna like throw, like, I don't know if it's relevant, but let me think. So in a previous stream, I mentioned that like because of some policy happening, particularly in America, education is changing and so that would affect the funding and everything. So that was one. And then recently I also mentioned, maybe like last stream, and it's happened in the past few months, Kansas is like they implemented some, you know, state policy, I guess if you want to call it that, where if you're already trans or you are trans, right? So there's people who, you know, are trans and they're open about it and that's their life and it's been fine. There's been really no problems. And then they took away their driver's license. Yeah, so there was like a thread, but I'm like failing to sew it up properly, so now my stitch just is terrible, so there's like no stitch. Because I think what I remembered when I learned about the education thing, it was around the time that I learned about that piece of news. So maybe that was the connection. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's interesting. For sure. Well, okay, I don't know if this is gonna help you, but bear with me. I'm gonna do my best to tie it all together. If it's like, oh, doesn't help me, cool, it's fine. But if it helps you, you can try to use the structure of today's questions. I know, you're like, oh, I don't want to waste it. This is such a good line of thinking. Maybe you can take some of these questions, and if you have a minute in your busy life, because we're all busy, right? We always don't have time to do stuff. But if you have a minute to just sit down with yourself, either digitally or with a pen and paper, ask yourself these 4 questions. And if you need to switch it, like take out some words and replace it. So instead of like health goals, you can think like career goals, or like yeah, but I mean health goals is good too. Another thing is that I'm kind of in this situation where I had to think about who I wanted to be as well. Actually, it was recently. So I can kind of relate, actually, believe it or not. Maybe not like 1,000%. Like I'm like, I understand every little detail of your life. No, and obviously not. But I think I can sympathize, if not empathize, with that feeling of uncertainty and like discovering new things about yourself. Things are moving pieces, trying to like navigate this weird system of society that's created, that's now more or less collapsing on itself, honestly. So that's a lot, actually. But oh, what, you lettuce, please don't tell me you're one of those people who have bought a gym membership but have like only goes like once a month, or like once or twice a month. Please don't be so, please. Okay, so you do focus on physical, good, like eating, sleeping, resting physically, and all these, you know, but then you've been neglecting the spiritual. That is very nice, interesting. I'm glad you're able to. I did want to talk about spiritual, actually, because sorry, I'm gonna segue really quick. The three articles that I linked briefly talk about spiritual, so these first, which include what? Interesting. Wait a minute. So you could, okay, so question. Do you have little like portable earbuds or headphones that you could like plug to your phone and then like keep your phone charged like 100% and then like watch YouTube, and then we could like work out together in the gym? I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just trying to problem solve with you, homie. gotta support a fellow scholar, you know? Like, I don't know if that's an option, or if you feel too stressed to go out to the gym when you have like projects and deadlines and schoolwork. But and then here's another thing that people don't realize with fitness and exercise. For me anyways, food is a big thing. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, campus gyms can be pretty helpful, really great. Yeah. Most of them are broken? No! Sad, that's okay. What can we do about it, right? Geez, that's a bummer. I guess you could just like recycle those old electronics, I suppose, or if you know how to fix it, because if you're tech savvy, some people are really tech savvy, they can fix, or they'll buy replacement parts and then, you know, just replace things and get it fixed. But okay. Well, you're getting your social. I see. Yeah, I think it's really key to identify the sense of overwhelm for anything. So regarding today's check-in questions, even it's very possible, Because if you have a goal, that means you want to do something and achieve something that's different than what you currently have. Yeah, correct? That's what everyone can agree, that like a goal is like this, and then you're here and you're trying to get to goal. So it's like there's a little bit of a distance, and we're trying to close that gap. In order to close the gap, you can't necessarily keep going the same way you have been, because goal is over here. You're gonna have to, like, you know, yes, okay, so that means there will be change of some kind within comfort, but also within discomfort. And part of what I've recognized in my body is that good change will feel uncomfortable. Like when I literally do push-ups, that you're literally seeing it in real life, in real time. The discomfort and like my mentality and how I handle it. But if it's causing you like total shutdown, for anyone, actually, this is what you're describing is very universal, believe it or not. Meaning a lot, I've actually seen a lot of people. I myself have experienced it. Now I'm trying to think, like, what did I do when I felt overwhelmed? What did I do? One, I did give myself time, so I was patient with myself. Two, I never gave up on that goal of like, oh, I want to get fit, or I want to be healthy, or I want to, you know, make money in such a way that, you know, makes me happy, or I want to study this, or whatever your goal is, right? And then there's a lot of planning and action that usually follows, and usually it's like you kind of eventually develop a lifestyle and routine around it of some kind, depending on what it is, but usually in most cases that is the case. Yeah, so let's see. Lettuce says that they have a local tech wizard. Let's go. Oh no. Okay, yeah. Definitely don't wanna stress folks when they're already super stressed, for sure. Yeah. That's cool that there's like a local tech wizard. We do like our wizards. Unless they're the dark arts, then we gotta be wary of them if they don't hex us, right? But yeah, that's cool. Sounds like they know what they're doing with the tech, electronics, hardware. I've always wished I could like tinker with stuff like that, but that has not always been something I was favored to do. I feel like whenever I tinker with something, I either will break it, something just like gets messed up, or like I can't put it back together again, and it's very demotivating. It's actually kind of technical hardware and stuff like that, yeah. But yeah, for sure. I do want to just kind of go back regarding the check-in questions, and then applying it as a transferable skill to like a framework of achieving other goals and other things. Anything you pursue, anything you want to do, doesn't matter. Career, hobbies, personal, relations, anything. There's usually going to be action. There's going to be a change. Some you know, things that are changing. There's going to be conflict, and then, you know, obviously conflict resolution, if that's in place, based off of how skillful you're able to work on that. I do want to use the word. I want to say there's always a routine. There's always routine involved. There's always maintenance involved. I think I'm like trying to think, like I'm trying to like critically think, like, am I wrong? Like where is it like that these things don't exist? The things that I've listed. So I'm critically thinking myself, like where can I debunk myself, right? Like I'm constantly also critical of myself. So I'm thinking, is this true? If you choose a career, is there routine involved? Is there an action involved? Are there going to be changes that will need to be had? You know, are there going to be some conflicts and you know, challenges, and will there need to be solutions? Yeah. So mentally preparing, and like, again, maybe this is my high performing anxiety. Like I've turned anxiety into a superpower. into a positive, right? I think people forget that stress can be good stress. There's good stress, and not always though. Not all stress is good stress, but I think when I'm good, my anxiety is like a superpower that lets me be like a super planner. Like, I noticed this about myself maybe like actually 2 weeks ago. Like I realized this. I was planning something and I was like really detail oriented and anticipating a lot of different things. I don't know why, but then something happened where my anticipation kind of came true, and I was like, whoa, that's awesome. Like I thought about it, and the probability of it happening wasn't so low that it wouldn't happen. But like if it did happen, like we would have, like my planning would like address it. And so like because I considered it, right? Because my anxiety, thinking all the bad things that could happen, you know, but I don't frame it that way. I don't frame all the bad things. I just frame like the possibility. So basically I've taken like a really negative experience, anxiety, and alchemized it. Like I've like changed it into like a superpower where I can plan and accommodate things and be flexible and malleable and kind of flow with things. It's actually very fun. It's actually very enjoyable. I do love planning and organizing things. It's pretty fun. And then like actually doing the steps to make things happen. It's very fun. And then anticipating, it's like a giant puzzle, you know, it's like a giant puzzle. It's almost like those games where you have to like manage and macro manage. It can be stressful, but there's a little bit of like a satisfaction of like, hey, you know, like I considered that. So I don't know if you could do something like that with what you're experiencing. I don't know. It might be a fun thought experiment. But if you're not able to, then you know it's fine. You're not able to. But if you are able to, then it's like cool. It's like a skill. It's a superpower. I'm trying to think. What did I do when I was stressed or felt like I couldn't do something that I wanted to do? Definitely grace, patience, planning, and then action, anticipating conflict, and you know, well, not how to say, like not anticipating conflict, but like acknowledging conflict may arise, and when it does, you know, be able to address it. Again, we're not in a vacuum. You do have like, you know, obviously friends that you can always get like feedback from to help shape your decision making and actions, and I think I try to model that. Like I try to ask like folks in the community for their opinions, their input, but ultimately, you know, like I make my own decisions, and same with you. You will make your own decisions in whatever you pursue. Whether the feedback is helpful, the support, maybe you don't want feedback, maybe you just need someone to listen. Maybe you just need someone to see, maybe you need to feel seen, maybe you need to feel heard, maybe that's what you need and you don't need necessarily a solution. And you can also ask yourself like, oh, why do you do the things you want to do? So like your goal, going back to like the questions that I've listed here, because this is right in front of me, why do you want to be healthy? Or do you even want to be healthy? I think for most, like the majority of like, you know, like I want to think like at least 90% of people want to be healthy, want to feel okay, feel healthy, like feel not like they're gonna fall over and like, you know, KO, right? Like that. If your nervous system is, you know, correct and aligned to like that biology, then that kind of seems. But I mean, obviously asking the question why is a personal reflection bit. You're currently building up stress and anxiety to be productive for this final. Yeah. Feel that. I feel that totally. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Final. Tomorrow I have a quiz, a vocabulary quiz for Japanese. It's pretty wild. I'm a little stressed about that as well. Like, I spent like a lot of time studying, right? But I still don't feel prepared, right? I totally feel it. I'm kind of like alley where like I kind of just like shove it away, like I push away, I lock away the stress and anxiety just for a moment, but then when I have to like address it, it's compounded. So I try not to do that, but I have done that. So what I do is like I take bits and pieces of it. Like for now, I acknowledge it, right? Yeah, it's good. Awesome. I'm glad you finished your final today. Congrats as well. Yes, thank you guys for the positive feedback. Yeah. So, totally feel it. In fact, I think I just had, well, no, I had my midterm yesterday. I had a midterm yesterday. Was it stressful? I had a plan, so it was less stressful. But I didn't have a plan for tomorrow's vocabulary quiz, so I'm a little stressed, for sure. I have studied it, but there's just so I am behind, so I totally get like that stress level for sure. So going back, if you feel the stress in your body, this is really interesting. This is something that I've discovered. And after I rant on this, I'm gonna do my next push-ups, my last set of push-ups. But before that, really quick, oh my gosh, swimming. Oh, I don't even know that. Are you talking about, wait, was it your Japanese as well? Yo, wait, you're taking Japanese this semester, like this quarter semester as well, like right? Hey, yo. I don't even know, dude. I don't even know. There's so many verbs. I am actually behind on verbs. Pain. Oh boy. Yeah, I haven't gotten to swimming yet. I think we established that we're both using the same book, Genki, the orange one. And I'm on what? I'm on lesson 4. Yeah. The vocabulary quiz for lesson 4 is tomorrow. And I have all the days, so I know, what is it? Getsuyobi, Kayobi, Suyobi, Mokuyobi, ne, Kinyobi, Doyobi, and Michiyobi. So I practiced the kanji for it, so like I'm good. But there's just a bunch of other, there's this random vocab where it's like, what is it? It's photograph, and I'm like, shoot, this, what? Is it gonna be on the quiz? Because we didn't talk about it. It's just, it's there though, so it's like expected us for us to know. Wow. Arigato ne. Ganbarimashou. Oh my gosh, you're already on chapter 7. I am so Shashin, hi, shashin. Yeah, shashin is photograph. The hinagana for it is like she with it's a contraction. The sound is with a small ya, and then she, and then so shashin. Hey. So good thing, if this gives you guys any motivation to learn another language, it's good for your brain, like believe it or not. Like you might be feeling, I'm stressed, I have regrets, why did I do this? You're doing something so good for your brain though, you really are. Learning another language, or like, what was it? Bilingual and trilingual individuals have a lower rate of developing dementia. Like basically learning or knowing another, yeah, hi. Learning another language or having another language slows down dementia. I don't know about the genetic factors, but it definitely slows it down. Arigatou gozaimasu. Most but not all of my Japanese has been picked up from observation. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, I'm pretty nervous about Japanese, but at least we can all relate. Learning Kling now? Klingon? What is that? The heck is that? What is... I'm gonna look that up really quick. A humanoid species of aliens and science... Oh, it's from Star Trek? What? Interesting. I never got into Star Trek. It's a language and alphabet. Wow, they developed it? Like, that is interesting. Huh. What? That is so funny. Wow, did not know that. That's so funny. Oh my god, that is so funny. Y'all are validating that it's on Duolingo. That's so what? There's another one. Isn't it called Pigeon Tongue or something? But it's not like a real language. Oh no, it's Hawaiian Pigeon. It's spelled differently, never mind. So Pigeon is a grammatically simplified form of a language that develops between two or more groups of people that do not have a language in common. Huh. Oh, okay, never mind then. It's a simplified means of linguistic communication. So it's not, okay, never mind. So Pigeon isn't actually a language. Well, it says it's Pigeon language, but whatever. Oh, okay. Yeah, I never got to really watch Star Trek. Interesting. But it's definitely has a pretty big what is it? Fan base. That's pretty cool. Second time I speak to someone about Pigeon languages this week. It's a sign. It means something. I don't know. Interesting. Well, okay, I like certain aspects of it. It seems really interesting. I've also heard of some, what is it? I guess you could call it criticisms or like points of what's the word I'm trying to say? It's like 1960s. Yeah. Science and ethical problems. I forgot. This was a long time ago. There have been some like comments about Star Trek. I don't know if it was related to the actual Star Trek, like the story, the universe, or if it was like a production thing. Like, I don't know if it was along the lines of like unfair treatment. I don't know if I don't remember if it involved sexism or not. I don't remember if it's Star Trek, but just like these comments about it. So I was like, huh. But I guess there's, nothing's perfect, blah, 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 but that's not the point. I'm just trying to recall if it was Star Trek. Or there was like something related to discrimination. I don't remember. It's been rough at a few points. Okay, all right. Okay, that's just wanted to clarify, like I'm not being overly critical, but like I do remember like some comments about reading about it and stuff like that. It's production. Oh, got it. Yeah, I think I don't remember like 100% what the specific details were, but there's always something like that, Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, should that take away from the art? Like, can you like separate the art from the artist, or like, the team who like created this, franchise and universe versus the actual, universe of the story and everything? Yeah. There's a lot. Okay. Oh, okay, so yeah, I think that's what I remembered. It had something to do with like the costume, but I wasn't like 100% sure, but so I didn't want to say if it was costumes or if it was like an interaction behind the scenes. But I'm glad we could like talk about it without, anyone getting like too upset about it. I hope I'm not offending, I'm just kind of like talking about it. Because I know like when people talk about like their favorite show or fandom, they don't always want to like be receptive to like the possible like criticism or like things that have happened that shed a negative light, and I'm not trying to like start negative chatter about it, but I just remembered like that was something that came up, and I was like, huh, okay. Beginning of the second one, and the writing, and there was something about the writing and the story. Okay. It did get better. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of the general vibe that I'm getting, that Star Trek is pretty progressive and interesting in that way. Yeah. I don't know why I never really got into Star Trek. I'm not sure if it was like an accessibility, like access to it. Like it wasn't as like I didn't have access to it on like a television screen or anything. I wonder if that was what contributed to my lack of interest. I'm not sure. Maybe was it like the aesthetic? I'm not sure. I'm trying to think why I never really. It's the same reason probably why I didn't really get into Star Wars. Okay. No, I'm not trying to get out of rise with anyone. That's the thing. I'm not. Nah, no one needs to rise for anything. We don't need to rise for anything. Fall, sit yourself down. No one needs to get up. Just sit yourself down. Everything's under control. No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Put the shotgun down. King, put the cane down right now. I know what you're thinking. Just friendly banter. Oh, but my pitchfork! No, you put the fire, the flames, the torches down, okay? Where's the fire extinguisher? Gosh darn it. The generation, shows. Oh. Ah. Huh. I don't know. I don't know if it's like, I don't know if I'm lazy, because it's like, there is a bit, you know what I think it is? It might be I'm not really drawn to the style, because it's, I don't know, is that it? Is it an aesthetic thing? Like, no, because like I watched like Xenon, the you know, remember Xenon from Disneyland or Disney Channel, not Disneyland, Disney Channel, and she was like, that costuming and set was kind of like that, but like with Xenon, I think it's more relatable because she's like a teenage girl, you know, like when I was watching it, oh hey, I'm a teenage girl too, you know, so, and maybe she's like really bubbly and happy, whereas like I feel like Star Trek is more, it's like almost too serious, and I'm like, oh, I'm kind of like intimidated. Maybe that's it. And same with like Star Wars. Maybe that's my, obviously it's a very shallow reason to like not look into something, but it is what it is, right? Yeah, I think so too. Like it attracts a certain type of people for sure. I haven't heard that movie. I thought we talked about Xenon during one of our like throwbacks, no? Throwback chats? No, we didn't do that? Okay. But it's more than twice your age, yeah. Professionals at work, right? Yeah. I don't know. I'm just trying to like be honest, you know, and say like this is where I'm at, guys. Like this is how I think. But honestly, it has intrigued me. Like I do like the general idea of like this like future civilization, you know, dealing with some of the, I guess, issues that they deal with. But I don't know if I'll like vibe with any of the characters or anything. I don't know. I'll have to just see, you know. The crappy 80s television sets. Oh, okay. Don't know. I was never really. Oh, I don't know if this is gonna like throw judgment onto me, but like I was never really into the like older stuff. It's really hard for me to like get into that sometimes. It's kind of charming. Okay. Yeah, it has its own little charm, doesn't it? Like a little time capsule of media. If I think about it that way, it does draw curiosity. Like, when I learned about Anna May Wong, she was like a, you know, Asian American actress in the United States, you know, and like, when I found out about her as like an actress, and I tried to like look into some of her like media, like the things that she was in, like starred in, and some of it was good, but some of it was just like, what? Like it was such like a, maybe it was like a culture shock, or like, no, maybe not a culture shock, but like a time period shock. Like I feel like I was like transported to like another, you know, I mean black and white is fine, but it was just like, it was just really jarring, and I couldn't really sit through it even though I really wanted to. It was so jarring for me. I mean, does that make me xenophobic? It's different, it's othering. Oh my god, no, I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about it. It was just an interesting, I might have to revisit it, I'll be honest. I should probably revisit. I should watch some clips of Star Trek, I should watch some clips of, what is it, Star Wars, and revisit some of these like older media, like popular media, and see if like I can figure out like why I never got into it, or maybe I'll change my mind. It's just also right now time is an issue, because like most of my time is spent studying. What? Stellaris? It's people from a utopian Earth with no war, going out and solving weird space anomalies and ethical problems that come up. Okay. Oh, that's a really good synopsis, actually. Thank you, Allie. That's a really good synopsis. Interesting. Okay. If I do, I'll let you know. I'll let everyone know. I'll be like, any recs? Any recommendations? It definitely is with the research ships. Huh. Interesting. Okay. I'm stalling. You know I'm stalling when I don't want to do my push-ups. I'm gonna do my push-ups, y'all. Give me a second. Hold that thought. Keep talking what you want to talk about, Star Trek. I should do my last set of push-ups. Here we go. I'm gonna delay no further. Alright. Anyone want to join me? Wanna, you know. I think my muscles are good now. I can do the next set. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, my muscle. Yeah, Poette Everstall, at your service. Oh, but I was able to knock those out pretty good. So yeah, let's see. I was able to complete those pretty well, and not as bad. I think I gave my muscles enough time to just kind of like reset, relax, and I did pour some smoothie. Well, not really a smoothie. It's like a mixed drink, so I thought it was like a smoothie, but it's more of like it's more like a protein shake. Yeah, it's like almond milk, has like mint, some chocolate. What else does it have? Don't know if it has banana in it, but it's like, yeah. I have had like really traumatic, no. I had like a blender, right? Like a little hand blender to make my protein shakes, but the last 2 times it like did not go according to plan, and I spilled the entirety of my protein shake, so I've been kind of traumatized. So I just went out and just got like a bottle of protein shake for myself as a treat, so I can continue building muscle and maintaining my, you know, my muscle mass. So I should probably try to be more careful. Yeah, just a quick recovery, you know? You'd be playing if you had a device that could handle anything other than what? Genocidal Human Empire? Is that an actual game? What the heck? Is that a game? Wait. Wait. Oh no, it's not. That's not the name of the game. Okay, that's just like the game general genre. That's funny that you're laying in bed. That's so funny. The irony. Oh, Stellaris. Oh, is that? Oh. I feel like I've heard this game before. Not gonna lie, I feel like I've heard this game before. And it sounded really nice, but it looks really complicated. It looks actually kind of fun. It's like really colorful. But it looks very, very complicated, not gonna lie. I hope it's not one of those huge big brain games. Because if I need like a... it's something you can do and still... Oh my god. Just... Okay. Just wreak havoc on other planets. I mean... If you must. Oh, okay. Huh. Jeez. It's a big brain game. Yeah, I know a big brain game when I see one usually. Unless it's just super sneaky. Flies under my radar, but other than that, I can usually... It looks like a pretty involved game. You know, it's a really fun game that I do miss. I am kind of trying to move away from video games right now. For obvious reasons. But, I mean, if you play games, obviously, that's whatever, it's cool, it doesn't matter. But for me, anyways, there's a game that I really like, and I think I've mentioned it to you guys. Have you ever played Teamfight Tactics? That's kind of a big brain game. Yeah, lots of, it's like a turntable. Is it turntable? But it's like a lot of things. It is turntable, but I don't know if that's like the correct term. What am I thinking of? It's something else. Yeah. Strategy games. Oh, I see. Tabletop. I think turn. Yeah. Turn. Thank you. Sorry, brain just doesn't know. The terms. Thank you, Atlee, for that. I'm so sorry. You have a lot of patience for me. I'm sorry. I was like, I knew I wasn't saying. I was like, there's something that's just not, but I can't. The words escaping me. Yes, it's a table. It's like a tabletop game, but there's another one. Tabletop turn-based. Is it turn-based? I think it's turn-based. Tabletop turn-based. God, that's such a... I think it's called tabletop turn-based. That's a thing, right? Gosh dang, I'm trying to look for it right now. It's like a type of game, like a genre of game where it's like you take turns and it's like in real time, so it's like timed and it's live. Okay, that's what I meant to say. I meant to say tabletop turn-based, but my brain was just like, turntable. Hi, I might be related to Patrick Star in some ways, but I'm okay with that. Oh my god, that's so funny. I wish I had the cash for actual tabletop games. Oh, yeah, no, Warhammer, I've heard of Warhammer. It also looks a little intense. But I mean, it's cool, not gonna lie, it looks pretty cool at the same time, but it just looks also really intense, like, oh my god. Yeah. So, yeah, TFT, Teamfight Tactics, is really fun. That's like my go-to big brain game. Yep. Is it? Oh my goodness. So there's another thing. I don't know if it is related to all video games or certain companies, but like when you buy the game and like most of the time it's not like a physical CD anymore, but what you're buying, to my understanding, someone was like talking about like the future of video games is that it's going to be turned into like a subscription model if it's not already a subscription model. They're going into that direction, and like you don't really actually own the game. You're just kind of like paying for access to use and play the game. But there's like some gamers that were reporting on like how some of the old games they bought as like a collection and they're trying to play the game again. They're no longer able to play the game. So they thought they purchased like a copy of the game, but it turns out they purchased like a instance to use and play the game. Yeah, I thought that was kind of sad. I was like, ooh, I don't know if that's gonna be like the standard for video games moving forward. It was just something someone like, you know, was reporting on, and I was like, oh. Yeah, that's another thing. You know, of course we've never really owned the game, but I think the intention was like I have a copy of the game or something. Yeah, you lost many old mobile games which can no longer be downloaded, right? A license. Yeah. Yeah, the language is also really interesting. It gets into like a lot of like, you know, legal terminology and like ownership and yeah. But essentially it's like, oh, it's becoming more like a subscription model where you subscribe to have access to play the game. So even if you bought a copy or what you thought was like a copy of the game, if you tried to like play it on your computer or something, it won't play anymore for whatever reason. And I'm like, oh, well, that is just really weird, but okay. I don't necessarily own any games, or like, how to say, I don't have any like physical copies of a game, so that wasn't an issue for me. But I can imagine like a person who's like a collector, right? They bought like the CD, they bought like the box and like, you know, expensive merchandise, but then if they're not like subscribed to play the game, the whatever they purchased is kind of obsolete. If anything, it's just more like decoration now. Which I thought was kind of oof. Like, I mean, at least I thought like if they purchased the CD and like if they at any point they wanted to play it again, they should be able to just like pop it in like a CD driver on their, you know, PC or whatever, or laptop and play it. But I guess that was not the case because the company has like completely changed their model, like more so, that prevents people who have purchased the game previously to not even be able to play it. I was like, well, that's very strange, but. A lobbyer. Oh? Huh. Yeah. A collector's worst nightmare. That was basically something that they said. Yeah, they can revoke it whenever, which is weird to me. So it's not like a one-time purchase, you know? It's like, and that's why it's like, it's good to differentiate. It's like, in my brain, I need the words really matter to me, so like calling it more like a subscription model makes more sense in that case, because you have to like continuously pay to play, like continuously, not just like, oh, you pay it once and then you have access to it, kind of like you know those like old pinball machines like in an arcade or whatever, like those restaurants, like I don't know, like a pizza parlor, they might have like a little arcade section, like that is kind of like you pay for the physical hardware and then you can just kind of play it indefinitely, right? It's like a one-time purchase-ish. And it, you know, I mean, obviously if it breaks down, you're gonna have to like, you're gonna need like fix it, but like other than that, it's like it just needs a little ball in there and you just can play it indefinitely. Whereas I don't think that is like, you need to like constantly pay for that to exist. Oh, interesting. When you got actual cash, you're getting physical media. Oh, okay. Yeah, but that's the thing, physical media. For a license as you do to own, it's just it's weird. I've been very hesitant to like buy games or like buy games, right? Yeah, I don't know anymore. I don't really, because I'm not a hardcore gamer, but I mean obviously it's gonna affect everyone who plays games in general. But more so for people who, you know, collected or are very invested in this media or, you know, in a particular game. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's helpful. Oh shoot, you know, there was a game that was on sale. It was like super cheap. Oh, I think think the thing expired. I was like, I'm not really in a headspace right now to play video games. I feel like I really like kind of what I'm doing right now with my schedule and my lifestyle. So it's really hard for me to like go back to that, if that makes sense. Like I'm kind of enjoying being mindful of my digital consumption, I guess. It's gotten better, by the way. I know we used to joke that I doom scroll a lot, but it has gotten better. I've actually had a doom scroll a lot less. Oh, there's another Steam sale. Okay. Well, I don't know. Yeah, it's like a constant. It's a constant battle with me. Do I just get it just to get it because it's cheap? But like, I don't plan on playing it anytime soon. So like, should I just wait for the next sale or when I am gonna play it? All of these questions, and I hate the feeling of like fear of missing out as well. But oh no! Blowing up the laptop is never good. Yeah. And you just paid for your next classes, so like that's really important, Lettuce, and for like anyone, right? Like you want the game because it's cheap, right? And you can only get it now, and then that's like the fear of missing out. But like you have priorities, right? Like you should focus on the classes because you know you paid for that, and that has more of a expiration date because you know you only have like that semester or quarter or whatever system you're on, and that's kind of more immediate. I'm just trying to help you make healthy decisions. No, I don't know. Obviously you do you, but like you can lead the horse to water, but you can't dunk its head into the water. You can't drown the horse, Poe. Lettuce, don't do it. Well, Lettuce has a bank account that's empty, so maybe that's like a blessing in disguise. I don't know. Positive reframe here incoming. If you don't like my positive reframe, then boo-hoo, I guess. Nah. Just take it as a blessing. No, you don't need it. You don't need it. You don't need it. I don't need it. It's like another SpongeBob reference. All right. Okay. I need to do my sit-ups, bros and gals and homies and sis and friends and scholars. All right, let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and do some sit-ups, I suppose, as we consider what our future holds. I don't know. The future of video games. What's that gonna be like? Let me fix this up a little bit. Yeah. That's locking your well, yeah, I mean, I encourage it just because brain power. I encourage anything that's not brain rot. I don't know, is that gonna come bite me in the butt later? I don't know. So yeah, it's I'm just gonna be stuck here. Hold on. Locking in on education seems pretty good idea to someone like me, but that again, not everyone will agree, but you have my support. You have my support. Meanwhile, I'm trying to make sure that I can do a sit-up. Okay, here we go. I'm locking into the sit-ups. Give me a second. I believe I can do this. I am not doing it, but just give me a second, y'all. Oh, wait, right there. Okay, hold that. Don't move. Okay, there we go. That's what I was trying to do. Oh my god, y'all. I'm good. Okay. So like, I had to like position Gym Buddy Poe. So I don't know. I guess I could just have them floating around doing sit-ups any direction, but I've only half the webpage. Oh no, that's not good. Oh no. No. Why are you dying? No dying. Live. I wonder if it's your Wi-Fi. Do you think it's like Wi-Fi connection or like I don't know what it could be. Let me go ahead and do some sit-ups. For those tuning, feel free to join me. If you're laying down, you can you can lay yourself down and sit yourself up. Engage those abs, I suppose. But... oh, what? Paywall, that's weird. Paywall for a web page? Huh. I don't know what you're paying to read, but unless it's one of those like what is it, like JSTOR? But even though some of these like other research peer support resources are free to like a certain extent, like you can read like 100 free things, free articles for free, and that's you don't need to pay anything. But if you want to read more than that, you have to pay. Ah, weird. That's sketchy. Well, sketchiness is sketchy. I don't know why they would send you to a website you have to pay for. Oh. I wonder if your article could be found in a library. I mean, obviously not right now, but like, is there a physical copy of what you're trying to read that could be accessed freely in your school library? Question mark. Something to consider. Still a lot. I mean, it's just more convenient to have it digitally right at your fingertips at any time, but something to maybe consider. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna do some sit-ups while we think about a solution for that. Eek. All right, sitting up now. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, whew. Catch my breath, 18, 19, and 20. Oof. Feeling them cores. Oh boy. Alright, not bad, not bad. Not bad at all. Just gonna grab some water. Quick water break. Alright. Not bad. Yeah, dude, the free resources online can be very helpful, for sure. Very convenient. It's just kind of unfortunate, you know, like I wonder if there's a better system that could, but you know, it's like these institutions want to make money, right, and fund whatever they want to fund for whatever reason. So, sometimes I get kind of worried whether I'm allowed to like display some of the free resources online. Like for example, I did it I think in the past where like I would show a book from like a free PDF, you know? Yeah, there's so much that could be said about the academic system, institution, you know? Oh no, is it? Oh man. I think it got pretty bad where like, it wasn't just me, but it was like another like colleague of mine as well. And like, we bought books because we were told to buy these books right at the start of class. You should have them prepared, you should have them ready, right? But like there was this like one book set that I never actually opened. It's like still in a plastic wrapping paper because like how it arrived. And I was just kind of like, oh, I'll just open this when the professor tells us to bring it tomorrow or whatever for class. I never opened it to this day. And yeah, that book, was not used ever. None. Pretty sad. I've also had another professor where it was really cool. He would just take passages of what we were gonna go over in class, and he would like scan them, and then he made like a booklet for like of all of he compiled all of the, you know, contents that he wanted to use, and then he went to like a really cool, like a really cheap printing store, a little like mom and pop shop, right? This old guy, and yeah, he would just have us pick it up, and this reader, that's what it was. It was like a reader. It was like really dense, really dense, and it was only maybe like, it was like probably like under $25, like maybe like $20 for like a really dense workbook. Not too bad. Whereas like some books could be 35, 40, 50. I'd hate it if I ever had to buy like a book that was like $60. Like, sheesh, right? But those books are not cheap, and sometimes I try to buy them used, right? Or I'll try to like borrow them from the library, because the library will always have a copy of it. But yeah, so for that reader, it wasn't too bad, because otherwise, I mean, you think, oh, the reader's still kind of, you know, the same price as like a book that you would typically buy. Yes, but instead of buying all of those books, we just had to buy like one, and it was like, you know, $20, as opposed to like buying every little book that he wanted to use for class, and then we just have like a copy of it for like no reason, just because he wanted like one little passage, like one paragraph or one chapter from it. But no, he did us good, so that was pretty awesome for everyone. Yeah, or even just they like purchase it from their own like resources. As like a teacher, they have like certain perks or like connections with whatever resources, and they just give, like, yeah, they offer the PDF. That's pretty helpful. Yeah, the list, I don't know. I don't remember. I was really lucky because basically during my undergraduate, I've always been working. So the cool thing is that I didn't feel as bad, because I would just be like, okay, this is just part of my budgeting, right? Like every semester, every quarter, whatever the system is, like I would save a certain amount of money for my materials, such as textbooks, and if I needed a new notebook or something, yeah. But it do be like that. It doesn't help that the tuition costs just keep going up and up and up. It's crazy. It's pretty wild. It's like they want us dumb. It's like they don't want us to be educated. Oh my goodness. How dare they? Or better yet, if we are educated, they want to pacify our critical thinking with entertainment. So if you're entertained, you know, you can't start a revolution if you're well fed and pacified. No way. Conspiracy theory incoming. Maybe. We'll talk about that. I don't know about that, but maybe. Alright, so I want to try to knock out these last two setups. Let me see if I can get them done. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to see if I can do like 40 in one go. I should be able to. This will be like prepping me. No, I don't know if like priming me, but setting myself up for my next challenge. Because after this workout, you know, this beginner friendly workout, I'll be trying something a little bit more, well, it's less beginner friendly, and we'll see how that goes. Eat the feed. Oh, I don't know if that's a quote from something. You love watching 50 hours of random lore. Oh, interesting. Okay. I don't know what kind of lore, but all right. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do 40 sit-ups, and yeah, I think I'm just gonna try that. Here we go. All right, 40 sit-ups. For anyone who wants to join, you're more than welcome to do a few. Yeah? All right. here we go. At your own pace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, interesting. Okay. 11. I do that sometimes too. 12, 13, 14, 15, oof, 16, 17, oh, slowing down, 18, 19, 20. Oh man. Well, I'm gonna try to knock out the last bit. Oh my gosh. Let me see. I'm gonna try to do it. Alright. 21. Oh, actually, you know what? 22. I should count in Japanese. I think I'm gonna try to count in Japanese. So I'm at 22. So that's ni. Oh shoot, this is gonna slow me down. 23. I'm gonna count in Japanese to practice my Japanese, okay? So I'm at 22, which is 22, and then 23. Wait, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 30, was it 6, 7, 38, 39, 40. Okay. Oh boy. That was 40. That was 40, y'all. That was 40 in Japanese. Oh my gosh, that's interesting. I should probably start counting in Japanese. That would help me. Hi, arigatou gozaimasu. Yeah. I was exercising my brain basically. So I did the last 40, so second set and third set was completed in one go. Oh my goodness. So you guys were talking about lore. Is your survival at work is listening to lore videos? Yeah, I do something similar. But maybe it's not anything very constructive. It sometimes is really random. Like for lore related or just random videos. I've been looking into like true crime. So it'd be like a YouTube channel that talks about like real life incidences that have happened. Most recently it was like the police body cam. That was really interesting. That's like a perspective that I was surprised to see. It was really like stressful, so I didn't really continue watching that kind of stuff. But I don't want to say I have more respect for anything. It's just it is what it is, right? It's really difficult to watch these things for me. Like true crime sometimes is interesting, but I think maybe if I spent more time watching like lore from like actual content or media that I like more, that would be more helpful, I suppose. Like analysis of certain film or characters from whatever anime or video game. That would be more helpful, I think. I would think it'd be much more informative. Sometimes when lifting, Okay. Oh, now you can go back to English. Yeah, yeah. Oh, interesting. Skyrim and Scottish folklore. Oh, that's so random. That's actually so random. Sorry, I didn't think it was gonna be so loud, but that was my protein shake. Woohoo! Taking a sip of that. Gotta get that protein. Gotta build that muscle. Oops. Okay, so let's see what else. Oh, planks. Yeah, actually, I do still owe you guys some planks. Basically, if I do planks every stream, I should be able to complete my planks. Yay! Yeah, we covered a lot of things today, actually, in our discussion of, you know, let's see, it was, games, video games, and education, health. What the heck? Ma'am, as a 16-year-old, my parents are very scared of me doing even a little of, what the, intermediate and advanced calisthenics. Okay. I think the concern is that they don't want you to like injure yourself or anything like that. That's totally valid. I'm just, you do you, person on the internet who is of a very young teenage age. Please, yeah. I'm not gonna tell you to do anything that you don't want to do, and I want to respect your parents as well as your health and your well-being, because that's really important. So don't worry about it. No worries. Thank you for letting me know. It just sounds like your parents are concerned that you might break a bone or twist an ankle or not know how to do something. And so maybe you can ask your parents to see if, you know, you can hang out with a person who is reliable and isn't going to get you in trouble, and maybe they can teach you how to, you know, go to a gym. Maybe you have a sibling or like a friend and you guys can just go to the gym, or just take a gym class. I'm sure in high school they have gym classes that teach you basic things like push-ups and sit-ups and jogging around the park or whatever, the field, the track field. Yes, the track field. So desu ne. Hi, please don't mention your age. I know, right? Like, I don't know. This is like the second time this has happened. I'm not sure. There was one person that was saying something, and it was around the time the messages were getting, was it like deleted? But they kept saying stuff like, I'm 10, I'm 10, I'm 10. And I was really confused because I'm like, is this like, are you, what, like, what? I don't know. I guess I should have just assumed that this person was giving their age, but at the same time I was also kind of confused because I'm like, is he trying to say something that I'm just like missing? Is it like a reference to something? Because like, if someone came in here and started doing those weird memes like 67, I'd be like, I don't know, like maybe they'd just say like, I'm 67. I'd be like, okay. You know, so I don't know if that was like a new trend that I'm just missing. Like, I'm 10, I'm 10. I'm like, awkward. That's it, right? Roku. You know what's really, I don't know how to say this, but when I was really young, I just lurked. I don't know. 67. Oh, because that's 7. ごめんなさい. See, this is why I need to practice my Japanese. Thank you. I need this. I need to refresh on my Japanese. 67. It's so silly, dude. It's so weird. It's so weird to me. No, yeah, like I don't know where I stand on the age thing. I do and I don't. Like, obviously, if you shouldn't be here, you shouldn't be here. But I'm also thinking, like, I'm not doing anything, like, bad. My only concern is, like, say I say something, right, that's too woke, and maybe some kid gets in trouble because their parents are conservative, and they'll be like, don't listen to that, don't listen to that, it's terrible. And I'll be like, oh, you know, I don't know. I can't control every little thing that happens, and there's, like, a responsibility that, like, others have. and obviously I have as well, but it's like, it's also not entirely my fault if like the parent lets their child have like a device or technology that lets them access the World Wide Web, and like how's that my fault? You know what I mean? Like I'm just trying to like figure that out. Oh boy. Okay, sounds good. All right, night. Sounds good, sounds good. Rest well. You stand in complete opposition to most of the age things? Really? Okay, yeah, I've been wanting to like understand the age thing a little bit more, but it's also like a topic that I'm nervous about because I'm like, I don't know, because I feel like there is a safety concern, but then like as a kid, like where can you find a safe space digitally? Oh, it's all right, Neopets, maybe, unless, well, even Neopets has its creepers, and that always like freaks me out. I'm like, oh my god, like there's just nowhere safe, right? and it's weird because it's like, does it have to be that way? I mean, it just is that way, but like what are some parameters that we can do to like keep people safe online? And like, I mean, you know, so I don't have the answers to that, so that's why I am kind of nervous. And yeah, you trust no one with doing it properly? Sure. Yeah, sometimes I don't even trust myself. Like I don't even want, like I wouldn't want to develop some weird like relation to like a person online that's like too young or too old for that matter, or just like a creeper. Like I trust myself that I'm not gonna do anything stupid like be creeper, but I don't, like I can't say the same for everyone else, you know? That's why I get really nervous. It's like I don't want to like say that, oh, my community is not safe, but like at the same time I am literally have zero authority over what someone does. So for example, even though I believe my community should be a safe place, if someone within this like general community does something out of bounds, like I can't, like, you know what I mean? So that does give me some anxiety and concern and worry, and I do my best to like have like parameters and guidelines, and like I do try to like talk about, hey, net etiquette, like what is that? Things like that. Parents, please do something, please. Onegaishimasu, right? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I totally validate like if parents want to like keep their kids off the internet until, you know, I don't know. Like if the parent doesn't want their kid on the internet or doesn't want them doing things, I'm just gonna respect it. Like even if it doesn't make sense to me, like I'm just gonna respect it because that's how they wish to raise that child, and that's the life that they brought into the world, and I'm just existing. Like honestly, if there's a kid who wants to learn about exercise, they should learn about it in high school. You know what I mean? Like with their friends, like they should go to the gym together, and hopefully, you know, they have like a role model that can be a good support pillar for them and not, you know, guide them in a wrong direction, because that does happen. That there's creeps. I'm not gonna deny it. There are creeps, and it terrifies me because you don't know it until it happens, and then that's scary, and then it's creepier when like it's an adult and like all the other adults know the adult that's being a creeper, but they don't do anything. It's like, where's the intervention? Hello? That's what freaks me out. Whereas like, yeah, I wouldn't even know really what to do, but police report, restraining order, like informing people like, hey, this person is really creepy. Here's the evidence, right? Like, I mean, that's what we're seeing with the freaking, yeah, Epstein files. But anyways, feeling pretty bad right now, but that might just be because I have a Twitter. Oh gosh, I don't like social media. There was a period of time where I was like, I think I don't want to be on Twitter, and I communicated it with my community. There were some really good points, you know, because I asked for their opinions and feedback, and there was a lot of really good feedback that was shared during that discussion. And at the end of the day, I'm just like, you know, anyone can use a hammer for bad. You can also use a hammer to build good things, like, you know, like a house or like a birdhouse or something, right? Yeah, I feel bad about that. I also had to get it because of it's like a weird catch-22. Like you get it for VTubers get it for you, and then it's like just a little cycle of never-ending. And then with Twitter being a mess right now, I just want to exist, but it's not that easy when anything I do could possibly contribute to the destruction of something very, very far away from me. My tax dollar is going over to destroying schools in another country miles away. Oh boy. It's a crazy world we live in. Yeah, no, and that's actually part of the questions of like the dimensions of health, because there was one in the article that I read. It's about environmental health. So there's like there's gotta be a science. I personally don't know of a particular science, but there has to be some research done on like how environment obviously affects a person's like well-being. I love funding them. No, I don't actually. Pain. Why must you hurt me? That's obviously sarcasm, but again, because I know it, not everyone will read it that way. Oh, aerospace engineer. Interesting. Okay. Oh, well, huh. But yeah. So environmental health. You know, that there's a lot of different ways. So just reading off of this article about you know, dimensions of health, aspects of our health that, you know, that contribute, factors that contribute to our well-being. Environment. Yes, the environment can have a significant impact on our feelings about our well-being and health. So, you know, what does that look? What does that mean? You know, it's to be determined. It's subjective, but if in your environment you've always relied on like trees, and then suddenly the trees are being cut down, you know, it can really be very distressing. If there's like a natural resource like water, clean water, and suddenly it gets taken away or destroyed or ruined or polluted, I mean that's gonna impact. If it's so obvious to see it like impact animals and like the general ecosystem. But I guess if you have some kind of like sociopathic brain, the lack of neurons firing in that region of your brain would probably be a very telling story of why maybe some things don't affect you. Or if you just, you know, shut down emotionally, mentally, whatever. Yeah. I'm so sorry. No, you're good. I'm just gonna do my planks. I'll cycle. I did this thing where I just yapped today. It's fine. It's a slow day. It's a Wednesday. Totally understandable. I feel it. I totally feel it. Just vibe. Just do your thing. You know, this is just a space to encourage positive energy, and you know, whatever happens, we will address that. It really is though. It's really nice connecting with folks and just vibing, talking about different ideas, and yeah, just connecting. It's a form of social. It's part of the social dynamic or the social dimension of well-being. But you know, I think it's really important to not rely on the internet for your only source of social interaction and positive engagement, or negative engagement, because you can also have like negative things happening on the internet as well. So I think it is important to in addition to having, you know, the internet or online be the digital space where you can connect with others, there should be a way for folks to find connection. But it is really cool, like, not gonna lie, we get folks from like around the world and just different perspectives, and then the fact that we can all agree and like understand, it's just so inspiring to me. I don't know. That's good. Yeah, that's really lucky. I'm still trying to find my little tribe, I guess. Yeah, like, it's interesting because even most of like my colleagues and friends are kind of like spread out all over the place. So yeah, it's just kind of, it is what it is. So yeah, social connection, that is part of a dimension of wellness, is where is that? Social. Your social wellness refers to the ability to interact with people, right? Respect yourself, your boundaries, as well as others, you know, boundaries and ideas and stances and well-being. Being able to develop meaningful relationships, you know, and develop communication skills that allow you to interact. Yeah. These are all part of our social wellness and the dimension of our being. ちょっと待って。I'm gonna move this because this bothers me. Whoa. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna do some planks. I'm gonna bring back the timer. Still gotta do my planks. Alright, I'm gonna give myself 5 seconds to finish. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing with like friendships and all that, is that yeah, that's a natural part of, like, I guess, life. I mean, it's cool if you can keep in contact, like you know, all for that. But coming to terms with that is also something I've had to do for many different instances of my life. Yeah. Yeah, still working on the, can I have like a meaningful relationship that doesn't just blow up in my face? That is the question. That is always the question. We will see. We will see. Okay, so I'm gonna do a plank. And we are going to, yeah, do a plank. Feel free to just chill, vibe, do what you gotta do. Take a break, stretch, do some yoga poses if you would like. We are going to be, let me see, I'm gonna see if I can make this like right here. All right, 1 minute. 1 minute of a plank. So 5 seconds for me to get into my plank. Bam. All right, let's see, 1 minute. All right, here we go. I am in my plank. Yeah, I am in a plank. And here we go. Well, that's cool. Alright, cool. I'm glad you're reading your article. Awesome, awesome. Here we go. Still in plank, holding it, engaging our core. Shoulders relaxed, looking ahead. Relaxing our neck, tucking in our tailbone, breathing. Here we go. It's actually a lot harder doing planks for a minute. Okay, almost there. Still planking. And almost time. Here we are. Okay, so that was a minute. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Gonna do, oops, gonna get ready for the next one. I'm gonna get a quick water break, so give me just a second. Okay, gonna get something to drink. All right, cool. I'm just gonna do like a little light stretch between the next set. Yeah, it do be like that. Let's do a little snap, crackle, and pop. I do appreciate having these Wednesday workout streams, just because it I feel like it does keep me accountable for my own health. I can check in with folks. I have been noticing that there's kind of a interesting vibe that I'm getting, but I mean, I'm not gonna overthink it. It is what it is. I'm just gonna show up and, you know, do my thing, and, you know, all is good. Oh yeah? What are your plans when you don't have assignments to do? Maybe catch up on some shows, some anime, some games, some friends, relax, sleep. Oh, you're gonna work out. Oh yes, that's what I was hoping, but I wasn't sure. Oh, that's great. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah. That would be super cool. I mean, again, the school gym is there, but I totally get it. Like, you gotta lock in. I totally get it. That's why, you know, I was saying, like, I really do appreciate the Wednesdays, because it's like I literally block this time out for just this, and it's pretty good. I can just take my time with it. So I'm looking forward to your health goals as well, and making sure that, you know, we can all be accountable for each other in our own ways, right? Like if you say like, hey, you know, like my health goal is like I want to, I don't know, just an example, I want to build muscle, right? Or I think yours was like you wanted to gain some weight, which is important because, you know, having a certain amount of weight you know, is also good, because you don't want to be like too skinny or whatever, or like not have enough like energy and resources and muscle. So oh, okay, awesome, nice. That sounds like a really fun like little thing. I also used to like listen to this like Korean like radio show, which is similar to streaming, but it was with like a radio host, and yeah, it was really nice. I would do some exercise while tuning in, and there was also like a live chat, so you could also interact with the DJ, send in like requests for songs. It was really fun. But I did fall off of that just because, you know, schedule changes, priorities change, life, you know. But I think that that radio show is still going on. Oh, interesting. That's funny. Nothing to see here. Just pumping iron. Don't worry about me. For sure. Just doing a little bit of wiggling before I lock into the next plank. So yeah, just another minute of that. I'm noticing that like the minute plank is a lot harder. I don't know if I like it or I don't like it. I kind of liked it when it was just 40 seconds, because like I feel like I got a really solid like an I don't know, it's like an isometric hold, but with like a minute or more, it feels like I'm straining myself. Like I feel like after 45 seconds, like 50 seconds, I feel like I'm straining just to hold. So I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Yeah, I used to have like a MP3, and then I would just listen to music, and I'd have like no visual. I would just my only visual was the television in the gym, or like just the other people, and I was just like people watching while exercising, or I would just like zone out. But like if I'm like on a treadmill or stationary bike, I would just zone out listening to music. But if I'm like, obviously if I'm doing some kind of like weighted squat, I need to focus, right? Like I can't get disturbed, and I don't want to injure myself by not paying attention to like a weight or whatever. Oh, what? Well, I mean, that's how I felt when I started. I was like, man, I haven't exercised in a while, a few years actually, so I had to just go back to the basics, hence why the beginner workout. And then yeah, I got a really good refresher from some folks that dropped in, you know, so that was really informative. That was pretty cool. Yeah. Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and do my next plank. Let me see, let me think. Yeah, I'm actually really surprised that you're able to like read an article, maybe retain the information, simultaneously I feel like you're being distracted, but I mean, at least it's like maybe wishful thinking. It's like giving you a lot of motivation to be able to like, you know, giving you that it's like the energy I'm thinking is like ganbatte, you know, like that. I'm functioning. Yeah, functioning is good, but we want thriving, right? Not surviving. You'll get there. I think also lifestyle of like students can also be a little different. Oh, what happened? Oh, okay. All right, this is my time to now do the plank. Oh, I hate stalling, but I do it so well. Poette ever stall. All right, here we go. The downbeat. I can feel the downbeat is coming. All right, here we go. 5 seconds. All right, here we go. Planking. The planking is real. Alright, we are in the plank. Engaging the core, relaxing, engaging our muscles, relaxing our neck, tucking in that tailbone. Almost there. Still planking. Okay. Oh boy. All right. Good stuff. Yep-a-doodle. You've been working on multitasking. Okay. Yeah, task switching is also a skill, believe it or not. Juggling maybe like 2-3 tasks / projects and deadlines is an interesting skill. Yeah, reflecting on that last plank, I noticed that my feeling was kind of, well, my feeling after about like 40-45 seconds, it starts to feel a lot harder and it feels like a strain, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if it even should be longer, if I should work on like longer planks in the future or not, but no, I think do I like 60 seconds planks? I think I like 45-second planks, because after the last 20 seconds, I started noticing a lot of like fatigue. So I don't know. I guess that's what's supposed to happen, but I don't know. Yeah, isometrics. I'm not really good with isometric workouts because there's like a whole science behind it. Exercises. Because like once you get to like a certain point, the isometric isn't as effective anymore. I'm just wondering if I'm hitting that wall or if I'm just complaining because I don't like to hold it for 60 seconds. I'm trying to differentiate. Is it because I don't like it, or is it because it's getting harder because like it's actually that's the workout and therefore I should prolong it a little bit more? These are some good questions to ask like a fitness instructor or someone who works, but that is okay. Yeah. Get some feedback, right? Like get some feedback. Be like, hey, you know, hold a plank for like a minute, and like I'm realizing the last 20 seconds get a little harder. Should I hold my plank longer, or is it depreciating? And it's no longer, it's like straining my muscles, because you want to prevent injury. That's my concern. Meanwhile, there's people who are like able to hold a plank for what, like up to 2-3 minutes. but maybe it's because they've been like conditioned to it. So I'm wondering if maybe 60 seconds, that extra 20 seconds that I added is really pushing it. Because last time I increased by 10 seconds. So it was like, first we started 30 seconds and then went, oh, this is pretty good. This is pretty easy. And then we added 40 seconds, and 40 seconds was like really good. That was a really good time, because I felt like my core engagement, the muscles was really good. So like if I wanted to improve, I feel like I should have maybe gone like 50 seconds or 55 and not just jumped to 20 seconds, because there is a significant difference. But I don't know, maybe I'm just like over analyzing. I don't know if I'm over analyzing. I'm just observing. Yeah. Let me think. Average time for planks, because for like elites, or what they said, like fitness experts or like athletes, I'm assuming athletes are said to be able to hold it for at least like up to 4 minutes or something. That's so for beginners it is 30 seconds to 60 seconds. Intermediate level fitness, so if your physique or fitness level is like pretty like intermediate to advanced, your average plank time is 1 minute to 2 minutes. And if you're advanced, again, that's 2 minutes to 4 minutes. And if you're an elite, I'm assuming that must mean like athlete, then you can hold a plank up to 4 to 6 minutes. I'm trying to look. Yeah. I feel like 60 seconds is good. Like if you really want to push yourself, I don't think I'm intermediate fitness level. I'm still definitely maybe like beginner, like mid to upper beginner level. Whereas I feel like intermediate to advanced is like if you play sports, and then like advanced to elite fitness level is if you're like a, you know, like a professional athlete, maybe. Right? Yeah, I tried the 2 different styles of planks. I tried like the normal, and then I did the push-up, because I try to switch it up a little bit when I do my sets. So like for the sit-ups I did, actually for all my sit-ups I did hands behind back, and then for push-ups I did military, and I'll switch off and do the normal ones where the elbows come out, just to mix it up and all of that. Ew, weird. Average plank time by age. If you're under 20 years old, you should be able to do a plank for at least 1 minute to 2 minutes. If you're 20 to 29 years old, you should be able to do a minute and 30 seconds. If you're 30 to 39 years old, you should be able to, you know, average a plank time is 1 minute. 40 to 49, you should do at least 50 seconds or be able to do 50 seconds. 50 to 59, 40 seconds. If you're 60 years old and older, if you're still fit enough to do a plank, I guess you could try, you know, the average time is 30 seconds. Huh. How long should you plank for? It's probably safe to say planks are a worthy addition to any fitness routine, but does holding a plank for an extended period equate to better results? Not necessarily. The plank's primary goal isn't to set a world record for how long you can hold it, but to activate the muscles in your midsection, your abs, your obliques, and lower back. It's a low impact exercise that can make your everyday life easier by improving movement and reducing the risk of injury. In the nursing home watching Vtubers. Oh my goodness. It's a low impact exercise that can make your everyday life easier by improving movement and reducing the risk of injury. Right. Huh. What's the sweet spot for plank duration? According to Stuart McGill, PhD, the magic number is 10 seconds? Interesting. He advocates for multiple 10-second holds rather than one long one. Okay, so my 10-second interval increase was kind of intuitively spot on. This approach is based on numerous studies and emphasizes the importance of proper form and effective core engagement. Oh, interesting. Okay, there's different variations. Okay. All right, so I guess 10-second intervals of planks is pretty good. Yeah, I feel like I think 60 seconds. I guess I could build up to 60 seconds, but right now 60 seconds feels a little much. But I will just keep at it. I think for me, 50 seconds would probably be best. But I'm just gonna do 1 more minute of planking and then cool down. Yar. Yeah, the form is really important. I don't know if you guys can like hear me, but I do try to like do little mental reminders. So like the neck needs to be kind of like straight, not like drooping and not straining up. Like you shouldn't be looking up. You should kind of be like gentle, focus a few paces in front of you, obviously. You know, relax the shoulders. Sometimes I feel like there can be like, you might like tense your shoulders up or like when you're shrugging your shoulders. So remember to drop your shoulders, tuck that tailbone so it's neither sinking or, you know, you're not lifting your butt tailbone up in the air. Yeah, it really should just be the core engagement, but I'm noticing I'm feeling it somewhere else, so I don't know if it's just my form or what, or muscle fatigue. Can't tell. But 60 seconds is definitely doing something, so guess we will try it again. Yeah boy, let's go. Alright, 5 seconds to get ready, and here we go. And we're gonna be in the plank right now. My arms are straight, my neck is relaxed, shoulders down. Engage that core, and we're holding. Remembering to breathe, not hold our breath. Oh boy, here we go. Armageddon. Twenty more seconds. Got about 10 more seconds left. Remember to breathe. And we're good. Release. Not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, I can actually, that one, that set, I feel like, I could like feel my heart. Oh man, oh my gosh, 108 beats per minute. 107, okay, 108, 107. Yeah, this time I try to engage my core a lot more. I think the last 2 times I wasn't engaging my core, and therefore I was like feeling it like in my shoulders and arms and legs more, and I was like, what's going on? So I guess it was just needed to, you know, suck in my stomach, I guess, or whatever. Workout routine, that is, we have completed the last set of the planks. Let's go. Cool. All right, so I've kind of been stretching throughout, like in between the sets throughout this workout routine, so maybe I don't need to do the 5-minute stretching just because I've been kind of making sure that I'm stretching, and I do still stretch in the evening to help with the muscle tension and like relaxing as part of like an evening routine to wind down. That's kind of what I do. So for anyone who's ever like struggling with trying to fall asleep, I think creating, if not maintaining some sort of evening routine can be very helpful, because every body, every mind is different. So I do feel like when I exercise, I do sleep a lot better, because I feel like all my energy is finally like put out somewhere, so I don't have to feel like I still have a lot of energy. Like I feel tired, which is good. Like you want to feel tired enough. So if you don't move enough during the day, you'll have a lot of energy. If you don't, if you don't do enough like mental work, or you don't, I don't know, compartmentalize your thoughts in a healthy way, then it can also contribute. But if you have other complications that might, you know, make it harder for you to fall asleep, then that should be addressed as well. And I think acknowledging that is important. Oops, why am I stuck like that? Ouch! I was putting away the yoga mat, I forgot. For me it's 50-50 because I almost always instilling. Oh, that's good. Yeah, no, that's really good. These last 2 days, yeah, I had really good sleep. I think it was the sound yoga. Like again, this is holistic health, right? So some people don't like holistic health concepts and practices, and that's, you know, that's their opinion. That's fine. But for folks who might benefit from it, you know, and don't have anything to lose, then, you know, if it's gonna help you, then, right? Like if you have the hiccup and if you hold your breath, right, which is not, sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. If that's gonna help you, then, you know, just do it. Aging process. Yeah, you gotta have to come to terms with that. I think it's a really weird culture we live in, to me. And I think I mentioned it like, again last stream, and I hope I get to talk about it more later down the line in May. There's like a content creator, and she's like she's an Asian woman, and I love her. She's like so sweet, and she speaks her truth, and she's very authentic, so I have like so much respect for that. And she talks about the aging process and, you know, like her perspective, and I think it's like really, her perspective is very helpful. So hopefully I'll be able to talk about that later. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't mean that, you know, you shouldn't put on sunscreen and you don't need to take care of yourself, you know. That's like a very gloomy outlook, because I can already hear someone say like, oh, well, like if I'm gonna get wrinkles anyway, Poe, why should I care about my skin, you know? And like, well, that's just like a health thing, right? That's health. And that's, you know, wearing sunscreen and preventing wrinkles is just more like a, you know, you're trying to prevent skin cancer, or you're just trying to, like, you know, feel and look your best. But like if there's things that you can't do, such as the aging process, then, you know, you can kind of just like find ways to navigate that internally. Yeah, no, that's totally a thing. Yerp. Yeah, no, I've been very inspired by some of the very proactive youth organizers. So I just so happened to like come across some like a youth organization that like promotes what is it? It addresses like you know, racism towards Asians, because you know, I was doing research for AAPI, and then AAPI month, and then what else was it? Yeah, and I was actually very inspired. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like young people that actually care, like, and, you know, and are not apologetic, and they're, you know, they're doing their best. Like, totally support that. You know, their families and friends support it, and, you know, I think it's great that they're sharing their perspective and their experiences, and yeah, it's really inspiring, and it actually motivates me to be like, hey, you know, like, what else can I do? How can I support young people in, you know, because it is very gloomy and doomy right now, and I don't blame them. it's just kind of the product of the time as well. There's a lot of different factors like technology, you know, offloading critical thinking to something else so that then you don't learn the skills. You know, I have a lot of questions because I don't know. Yeah, and I think that's kind of my why as to why I want to promote healthy topics. And there's like plenty of other content creators that do exist that are also doing good things, right? And that's great. Creating that space for dialogue and connection and just, you know, accountability and all that. It's really interesting, actually. I don't know if I should talk about it now, but it's something that happened. Oh, for sure, yeah. And it's really scary for like younger people. So basically, there was a stance that says like if ChatGPT, if you're in school and you offload the work to ChatGPT, that means in the workforce, that task or what you're offloading is not going to be needed by you or a human. So that's actually like, I was like, yeah, that's kind of true, right? Like if they can do it now when you're in the workforce, we don't really need you to do that. So, very interesting. Yep. Birdie, interesting. Okay. Artificial thinkers, for sure. Actually, I do need the timer. I need the timer back again. Sorry, that's the music, not the timer. Oh well, I'll just keep a timer for the, whatchamacallit, the cooldown. We're gonna do 15 minutes of cycling. Let's go. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. My brain is mush right now. I don't know why. Let me just... Oh, okay. We're gonna have Jimbity Po, and we're gonna do some cardio to just cool down, because I think that's pretty good. Yeah, cardio, cooling down, warming up. I think these are all really good. I like to think they're like good measures to prevent injury. And it kind of gives like a nice little closing feeling to some stuff. So, here we go. Alright, we are running. Okay. Once again, I want to show off my my coat because we very rarely see the back of my coat. So why not? Oh, and exercise bikes is seems like quite an investment. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much they are, but I got a really cheap stationary bike, yo. Like I'm not that fancy about stuff, so whatever works. All right, so here we go. Time to get some working out done. I'm just gonna set a timer. All right, so. Alright, time to do the cardio. Cool. So, here we are. 15 minutes of cycling. Let's see, what else was there? We talked about a lot of things today. It's just another, it's just another Wednesday. Allergy season. Let's see. Yeah, just kind of use what's available, cause yeah, equipment is pretty expensive. It's probably why I'm kind of put off by a lot of things. Is like, oh, I don't really need it. If I can just use it in a gym somewhere, or I can find like an alternative. Should be the same thing, I suppose, but yeah, so let's see, how do we want to wrap up today's stream and discussion topics? I think I talked a lot about items number 1 and 2, but I didn't really... No, I did kind of cover 3 and 4. Oh, that's cool, yeah. Another dimension of wellness that I don't know if we really talked about was spiritual, and we also didn't really talk about a dimension of wellness, or whatever dimensions, plural, of wellness that have been neglected. Like, I'm trying to think. I reflected mostly on like the dimensions of wellness and my goals as well, but I wrote question number 4 thinking that I would answer it for myself, but I actually didn't. So I think maybe for the closing, I could just go over like, what is a dimension of wellness that I've neglected? Because I think the reason why I haven't answered it yet, like what I have been neglecting, is because I think I'm already in the process of trying to address what I have been neglecting. So socially, I am trying to, environmentally, I am trying to be more conscious and aware of like my environment and how I can be a more conscious consumer. It's very difficult. It requires a lot of sacrifice. Like, for example, if I usually get something from like a drink, like a coffee from Starbucks, and I find out, oh, Starbucks supports like violence or something or whatever, then I'll be like, well, that doesn't really make me feel good, right? Like, and you know, consumerism or consumerist power, was it? I wrote it down. Now I need to pull up my notes. It's where is it? Did I really not write this down? I can't think right now. Brain is mush. Wow. Look at my bit. Where is it? Item number 7. Give me a second. So I went to the article md-health.com. Item number 7 is basically some of the examples that they gave was like, take action to protect, you know, the environment from harm. What does that look like? It can look different for different people. Oh, this was the part. It says minimize behavior for environmental dimension of wellness. Minimize behavior that could impact your environment while protecting yourself from, you know, environmental hazards. Realize the effects of, you know, my or your daily habits on the world around you. So I think that was really key. So that's why I thought like, oh well, what's like directly impacting the world, and you know, what actions? It's usually like whatever we consume. Let's see. I thought spiritual wellness. Oh, well, yeah, spiritual wellness is also an interesting one as well, because it's so personable. Like, it's so personal. Sorry, not personable, personal. Yeah. So that for me, like for number 4, question number 4 for today, I think environmental is still something I'm trying to work on. So it probably has been neglected, but it's like I'm like proactively trying. If there's like a company or a brand that I know, or people have been saying like, hey, this company or brand is not doing like really good things for the environment, you know, then I'll, as like a consumer, I can make a choice to not, you know, spend my money there, as one way to help me address my impact and responsibility for the environment. It's not much, obviously, it's become a more collective thing, but I think I do feel a little bit better as long as I'm doing my part, right? Like, I can't control other people, but at least I'll feel better knowing that like I've done my part. So that's part of the spiritual, or I mean, that's part of the environmental wellness. So that was, you know, that's how I'm gonna close environmental wellness. For spiritual wellness, this one is really tough because it doesn't necessarily mean religion, in my opinion. I don't equate spirituality to religion, if that makes sense. And that might be kind of weird and jarring. Yeah. So yeah, Costco's actually pretty good actually. I don't know about Arizona tea, but Costco so far has been pretty solid. Yeah. For environmental, for sure, and consumerism, and like, you know, all of that, trying to do your part, right? Let me think. So spiritual, I don't equate spirituality or one's like personal belief or faith to always be tied to religion, but it is often the case. That is the common thing, that's like the majority. Yeah. Recycling, let's go. Yeah. As for addressing spiritual wellness, there's different ways to go about that. Yeah. So like for spiritual wellness, if you didn't want to like go to church or go to any particular religion or religious group, you know, how could we address that? Like, how can you still be able to address or acknowledge your own inner, because honestly to me, like, spirit is like something internal. Like that's very you. That is something that you have to have a relationship with by yourself, with yourself. Like no one should be able to like tell you about your own spirit, if that makes sense. So it's very much a personal discovery, like, journey is how I feel, right? So with spirituality, I feel like there's many different ways you can try to address it if you want to work on your spiritual wellness. And it can be like, just, okay, one way is like journaling. So you think about your values and then you write it down, right? And then you think about like, okay, so what do I believe in? If you do. If you don't, then you don't. You can also say like, I don't believe in anything. Or you can say, you can even like reflect and think like, do I believe in anything like that's beyond me? Or if you're like a really science person, you could also believe in like science, right? Like you can believe in like, I only believe in things that's observable or quantifiable, or I only believe in something that's like equated to the universe, which is like the creation, or like what, you know, because I think it's really absurd to me when I learn about different like religious groups and they say that like a human, like a man created the world. It's like, I can barely microwave something for 5 minutes before I forget about it and I just leave it in there overnight. And you think someone like me, or like someone of me, can like create a whole existence? Like, oh boy. Unless you're talking about like creative writing, right? Like you create a universe, you know, like an author. But like a human, like that's very, I have a very hard time believing like a human like is capable of creating like this plane of existence. So that's like where I stand. But maybe I'm taking it literally. I don't know, I have to like bring up a specific passage. It is possible for like a human to create resources back in the day and then have that story be told. And then they're like elevated into like a godly status. So I don't know. I think spiritual wellness can be addressed or tackled in different ways. One way is like journaling, self-reflection, maybe learning about different cultures and religious groups to see like what may resonate with you, if there's any little bits that kind of align with your values or your thought processes. Yeah, so that's interesting. human's potential. Mankind. Huh. Yeah, language here is really important, I think. Yeah, human potential, human potential. Human potential versus human reality is also something that has really grounded me in more recent times, but that's another thing that I'm noticing. I actually, just before today's stream, I was reading about the collective mindset versus like individual mindset. I don't know why I was reading this, but I totally was reading about this. So it's kind of interesting that it's being brought up in this context. Yeah, it's yeah. I think that's a very grounded response, and I think it's really important. And I'm learning this as well. I don't know if this is the correct like word, but like to group people. I didn't want to say generalize or generalization, but if we, because that loses accountability, because there are key individuals, there are key humans that are contributing. It's, you know, it's very obvious, but I think the language is very important here, and yeah, it's really important to address and keep accountable the individuals making the decisions. And well, so here's the thing: it's like we're all kind of complicit in this system that has been designed by like a group of people, right? Like we don't even know. And then it's just enforced. Great man theory? I don't know that theory, so I'll have to look into that one. But, oh, good news is, I don't know if this is good news, but we have about 1 minute left of this cooldown cycling. So I'll probably have to look into this a little bit more, but just thought I would share kind of my vibe, my current thought process. But yeah, so to sum up the last dimension of wellness, spiritual wellness is very personal, and it should involve self-reflection. Thank you, I appreciate you. Thank you, sir, and or yes, sir. Yeah, I appreciate that. Because I don't like to make like statements that are like, oh, this is how it is, because it's actually not true unless you're talking about like gravity or like the orbit around the sun, you know what I mean? Because it doesn't have to be like that. It is by a choice / by a design, and every action or law or whatever is enforced by like other people, like, you know what I'm saying? It's, if one person says this, it's how many people are enforcing what that one person says, and for what reason are they enforcing what that one person says? Like, is that one person enforcing what they're saying to everyone who doesn't follow what they're saying? Like a law, for example, if one person says the law is that you have to wear a purple shirt. If you are caught not wearing a purple shirt, you will die. You will die. So who's enforcing that, right? Like, who's enforcing that and why? I think is really, really important, because if it's just that one guy enforcing it, then everyone can say this man or this guy or this person, oh, man, woman, doesn't even matter. It's crazy, because like no one's enforcing, no one agrees on those rules. So it's not enforced. But like, say there's like maybe like 3, 4, 5, maybe there's even like 10 people who are enforcing that, but then like other people are not enforcing that. So then it's like, there's like this like, there's like a clash. So maybe I'm like oversimplifying it, but that's just kind of how I'm like seeing things. And then now the whole entire system has kind of become like a machine, so it's yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like if a giant vehicle like a tractor breaks down, like a machine, right, that someone operates, the person needs to operate the tractor. If the tractor breaks, what are the steps to replace it or fix it? And then what do we do in the meantime while this tractor, the system that it represents, is being fixed? Or what if we can't fix the tractor, like it's obsolete? The tractor's parts are no longer manufactured, and you know, no one has any way to fix this machine, this tractor. So what replaces the tractor, and why, and how, and lots of things to think about, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know, I guess that's somehow related to spiritual wellness. That dimension of spiritual wellness should be very introspective. Thomas Hobbes, that sounds really familiar. Let me look up great man theory. Yeah, and maybe it's literature and philosophy is the way to understanding or getting in touch with your spiritual wellness, or worse, by opening up the Pandora's box of interpreting what spiritual wellness could look like for someone. It could totally radicalize you. Who knows? It could send you down some path that I could not anticipate. So be careful. Hence why it's very personal and very what's the word? Very subjective. Oh, interesting. Huh. I'm just looking up some of the references because I finally finished the 15-minute cooldown cycling. So yeah, we can just wrap it all up, but I'll just put this out here for now. Great man theory is an early theory that to explain and understand leadership. Oh, that's good. Leadership that's always important, right? Like, what makes a good leader, right? Is the leader just pointing and commanding people, or is the leader also on the front line doing things and being an example of how things should be done? Or is a combination of both? All the things. Yeah, and then what happens when a person who's does not have leadership skills, when they're put into a leadership position to lead people or guide people or tell people what to believe and what to do? And yeah, you know, I recently read something about, like, there are certain types of individuals or people in general who don't like to think, or there's like, they did like a test where like there's the study was conducted to like read brain activity, and I have to review it, but like some did better following orders and commands, and others did better designing systems. And yeah, and so when those two types of brains come together, it just becomes like a situation where it's like kind of what was mentioned earlier, like, I'm a really good drone, right? Like the drone type minds are just really mesh well with the individuals who just design systems really well for the drone minds, right? And then it's like, oh well, now we have a big mess. And like, okay, yeah, same. I think that's fair. I think I can appreciate that honesty and transparency. I think I'm the same. I don't have an opinion because I don't know what the great man theory is. I'm just looking it up, and yeah. So, yeah, it's really hard to say. I'm just kind of like acting like a messenger right now, as opposed to saying, this is what I believe and this is the truth. No. It's more like, you know, I've been reading about some things, and, you know, this is an opinion that I came across, and it made me think, and it made me like observe and see things in a different perspective. And, you know, just kind of like creating it like a playground. Like, what do you guys think? You know, and all that. So yeah, I guess that's just kind of the space that I'm creating here for folks on the internet to have a positive discussion as opposed to like a negative, critical, or debate. I don't think I do very good with like debate. But yeah, and then to try to like distinguish between like a debate versus a discussion, a conversation, and just like throwing ideas on the wall, right? I think that's kind of more my style. I did really like speech and debate class, so that it takes a lot of but the thing with the speech and debate class that I took, the teacher was really awesome. I really loved her. She did this thing where she would just assign us like a stance. So for example, so for the debate for one topic, it's just one topic, or like an example is does climate change exist? And she would assign us like randomly. She'll say like, you are gonna be on the team that believes that climate change exists, and you're gonna share your, you know, your arguments or your research, and you're gonna take like a week or two. We're gonna come back and we're gonna, you know, we're gonna have a little mock trial or whatever about it. And then the other side was like, and you're the team that's saying it doesn't exist, and you're gonna do your research to try to refute the other team's possible evidence and blah 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 blah. And so it's like, all right, that's your assignment. And then you don't, and even if you disagree with your assigned stance, you still have to, you know, do that. And then at some point she would switch us. She would tell us to switch sides, and she would, like, you know, give us another week. And it would be like the same discussion, but it's like how you present. And like, yeah, some people would use the same evidence or maybe similar arguments, but it would still be very different. Yeah, it was really, really interesting. Yeah, argumentative essays where you're like creating your opinion, and then your, you know, your thesis, and then you're trying to like back it up with your evidence and like what the evidence suggests. You're interpreting the evidence. I really loved peer-reviewed articles because it goes through the process of being reviewed by like other researchers, people in the field, and then, you know, it gets published in a journal that says like, yeah, this is where it's currently at. So I really appreciated that process of trying to figure out like what's here, like whatever topic it is, like doing research on it. Like, is my, like, you know, is this paper, does this paper hold true to like the evidence or the research that's out there, all that stuff. Anyways, seems very neat. A bunch of your friends are in a nearby debate group. Cool, cool, very cool. Yeah, I've been thinking about possibly joining like a local debate group just to like synthesize, just to like, because I feel like I have maybe an aversion to debate, because I think a really good debate done really well is pretty awesome, but it's really hard to facilitate, and it's really hard to when it's like online. But I've also seen really good like forum debates as well. But that's also because most of the people are not necessarily like anonymous. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. Just depends on like, I guess, where your sources are. Yeah, paywalls, man, really sucks, dude. Oh my god, that's like another problem. That's a system. That is a system. Knowledge should be free. It really shouldn't be like that, but it is what it is. Yeah, for sure. But we try, don't we? We still try. We still try to emulate like the structure of that, and it's mostly an honor system at this point, right? An honor system. I think once people don't have an honor system, yeah, anything can happen. It's like the Wild West, the metaphor that like anything can literally happen. It's lawlessness. It's just lawlessness. No laws, no regulation, nothing. But, you know, all we can do with the lawlessness that happens outside of us, what we can do, what we have control over, is our mind, is our body, is our thoughts. How we respond to our thoughts, how we respond to our inner landscape and everything is still within our control. And if you feel out of control within your own body, then it's time to realign, right? It's time to reassess. It's time to you know, figure out what needs to be done. And oh, hey, there we go. Let's go. The alerts are working. Yeah. Thank you so much for the follow if you're tuning in. Cool. Thanks for being here. Yeah. We're just wrapping up. We did this workout today. It was really awesome, beginner friendly. So you're welcome to, you know, give it a try in your own time. This is the warm up. This is kind of what I did. If anyone joined me, and then this is the cool down over here. I was able to do 15 minutes of cycling, and I've been stretching throughout the workout, so I'm pretty good. I'm not feeling too stiff from that workout. Really simple. So yeah, so just to kind of wrap up and close things and give it a nice little bow tie and make it all nice and neat. Yeah, I think we have what, like 4 more days, 4 more streams of this type or this level of workout, and then moving forward, it'll still be the same schedule every Wednesdays around this time. I will be doing a different workout. I don't think it's beginner friendly, but again, people will do what people do. I do always suggest safety and injury prevention over anything else. But if you want to give the workout a try. This one that I have here is the best to start if you haven't done any workout. But if you know what you're doing and you've worked out before, then none of this is like necessary. But I just rather like cover my bases. Like I rather err on the side of caution than not. So that's why that's important. So all right, so I guess that's it for now. Had a really awesome discussion. I think it's funny that Lettuce, you're ending on anarchy and pitchforks return. That's so funny. But I think we're good. I think we're still good. I think we're working on what the things we need to do, self-reflection, and again, like I said, you ain't confident. Yeah, so I guess just do something simpler or things that you have done in the past. That feel familiar, but just do it at a lower intensity to start and kind of gauge like where you're at. Yeah, for sure. Also, yeah, thank you so much for the follow, Grawlix, I believe. I hope I pronounced that correctly. On Twitch. That's pretty cool. I got my alerts were working, so it's pretty awesome. Pretty happy about that. I can also just make my alerts a lot more fancier, but for now, that works. Yeah, so if this motivates you guys to do some workouts, cool. I am wrapping up because it has been a fantastic, like 2 hours, I feel. No, almost like 3 hours going on 4 hours. So we had a really good workout, pretty nice discussion. It was kind of like a chill stream today, really slow, but it's all good, right? Like not every day is gonna be a party, but on the days that are, that's always nice. Yeah, you guys can look forward to some more exercise streams on Wednesdays around this time, depending on your time zone. It could be Wednesday, it could be Thursday if you're in the future, but definitely April is gonna be, I'll have some extra streams scheduled for that day, LGBTQ friendly. So if you're open-minded to learning about some stuff regarding that would be awesome. If not, no worries. So I'll have some extra streams on April. I'll let you guys know. May, I am trying to pack a wallop of streams, meaning I'm trying to like figure out how I'm gonna fit like 15 to 20 streams. I might have to downsize to like 13 or just consolidate to 10. I'm not sure yet, but yeah. So yeah, definitely 3.5 hours. Yeah, it's going on. I feel like it's going on 4 hours. If I don't wrap this up quickly, it'll be 4 hours, and then I'll be like, ah. But thank you for being here, King and Lettuce, and for those lurking and listening. I also know that Panda, a community member and stream mod, was checked in, was super nice, and I'm just really glad that you guys are living your life and having a good time and checking in here. I do want to schedule like a community meeting at some point. I'll do that just so that we can check in, so I can get a pulse on everyone, and just to like clear the air on certain things that happened. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate everyone's like, you know, gratitude, and just, you know, keeping it a very lively and thoughtful space. It's always a lot more fun that way. So always really happy. Yeah, and you know, if you figure out a time to work out, and you know, good luck on your exams, and I'm really looking forward to the Japanese classes. I'm gonna do my best to like, you know, share Japanese language with everyone, stuff that I've learned. Maybe I'll learn and practice along the way and get a refresher. That'll happen sometime hopefully after May. So if anyone's, you know, interested in learning a language, or, you know, reinforcing what they know from Japanese classes that they've taken or took in the past, then that'll be really good. Yeah, because I think yeah, learning a language, knowing another language does help with the brain, and being able to hold space for different cultures and language is very beautiful, very awesome, and just pretty good, right? Beautiful, yeah, for sure. Definitely helping carry the conversation, for sure. Otherwise, I would just be yapping and doing my thing. So, yeah, I'll stop distracting you from the work and research and homework and assignments that you guys have to do. So, Lettuce, thank you so much for being here, and King, also thank you for vibing with us, and any of the lurkers and listeners, and anyone tuning in to the stream or watching the VOD. Yeah, pretty cool. If it's helpful, then it's helpful. If it's not, then, you know, just disregard it. You know, like if something isn't good for you, you don't have to engage with it. No, my distraction. No, get back to work. I hope you pass your classes, and take care of yourself. Get enough sleep. You know, stay hydrated, because these are all, you know, good things that I think anyone would want to wish upon people. You know, just sharing positive energy, wishing people well, hoping people can find ways to resolve their issues through professional help, or through the resources that are available in the system and structure. It's not easy, never is. And yeah, yep. Wishing y'all, from one human to another human, somewhere far away on the internet, wishing y'all well. Yeah. Oh, your GPA, yeah, that's pretty important, especially if you gotta do if anything relies on your GPA. But yeah, I don't have to worry about a GPA, but you have to worry about a GPA. So Godspeed and good luck. Yay. Yeah, so I guess that's it for now. I'll chat with you guys next week, and please take care and be well. And I hope we get to check in again soon, and yeah, all that stuff. So take care, be well, and all that good stuff. Stay hydrated. It's super hot, yo. It's super hot in some places. The weather's crazy, and yeah, just all that good stuff. Yeah? Hi, じゃあまたね. See you next time.